What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After Chat. You got ham radio questions, we'll try to have ham radio answers. We have a pretty good track record, though, so that's pretty good. So let's take your questions. Go ahead and start typing question at ham radio crash course in the chats, and we'll get to them in a second once we get things started up. How's it going, everybody? Well, I know last show wasn't, everybody's cup of tea, and obviously you have to come to Hamvention to participate, but I hope you did enjoy it, and I definitely appreciate the just ongoing amazing efforts from people like Jason KM4ACK and Loyal, Zach, and everybody else that, was involved. And again, big shout out, huge shout out to ICOM for sponsoring us to be able to do that. But that's not why we're here right now. We are here to answer your questions about the ham radio, all of the ham radio. So go ahead and hit us up. Join us on the Discord. Link is in the description. Make sure you do set up the voice and speakers, because we do take all the questions if we can on voice, because we almost always have all these back and forth things we need to ask you, like, what's your budget? How big about is your property that you want to put this antenna on? And a myriad of other things, right? So make sure you do join us over there, okay? Make sure you do say at Ham Radio Crash Course, right? And then also make sure that you're like, let's see, why is my chat not updating? That's weird. My chat that I'm looking at. There we go. Now it's updated. Make sure you say like question somewhere in your question in chat, and at Ham Radio Crash Course. Hey, what's up? Chuck's in the house. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? But yeah, do join us on the Discord. That's going to be the fastest way to get help on the air. All right, so let me go ahead and hop in here. We'll say hi to our friends that are hanging out.
I was talking about, which just blew me away. Why is Chuck here?
Howdy.
Oh. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
So I did get a quick question I'm going to take right off the top. Ham Radio Crash Course question: did Meshtastic really shut down in Dayton due to the numbers of users? It didn't shut down. It just got highly congested, and it was difficult to pass messages. And I talked to the developers of Meshtastic. I know how to fix it. And next year, and Huntsville, if you're going to Huntsville, I'll have a new hashtag for everybody in Huntsville that'll be that'll help solve all those problems. So. Yeah, hello everybody on the Discord. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach, for hanging out with us earlier. And did I hear that Chuck's in the chat? Is Chuck around in the Discord, or is he on the comments?
YouTube.
YouTube.
He's on YouTube chats.
Well, he's a West Coast guy, so we've got later bedtimes and all the rest of you folks. So we're just hanging out. We're just chilling
remember,
here.
Chuck has a tower.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to throw that in.
He does. He gets out really well too with it. Although we always have difficulty making contacts to each other. I think we're just a little too close for some of those lower bands. But we have made contacts in the past. We have talked before. But Chuck,
40 meters is where it's at.
Chuck, make sure I'm in your ham alert, buddy, because I'm going to be in New York City in June on a trip, and I'm going to try and hit up like 3 POTAs in Manhattan, and they're really rare POTAs, like stupid rare, like 4 activations at these parks we're talking about, at least the rarest one. So yeah, make sure you, please, everybody add me to your ham alert, because I'm going to need all the help I can get. Good question. I might be doing 40 meters, but at best it would be on a vertical, like a super high Q vertical, like on the KX2. But it's that we're getting ahead of ourselves, because I really do want to talk about that. I really do. But first and most important, we want to say hi to everybody who's joined us on the Discord for the first time. came out here. They're joining us on the after chat. They're looking to get their ham radio questions answered. So you guys have priority. Who here is new to the Discord that would like to ask a question? Ham radio question. We'd love to take you guys up front, right up front, and solve all your problems. So anybody in there, go ahead. You got the priority. Maybe? Nope. Okay, well, we'll come back around. I did start things off a little bit earlier than I normally do. But yeah, literally, this is why we're here, to try and help other ham radio operators out, particularly those that are like new, getting started, and obviously those that have started out on Discord. So that's okay. I can talk about my... Oh, go ahead.
Hello, Josh?
Yeah.
Josh, it's Ari.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good. I was just wondering, if I'm going to start out with a shack, what are the procedures or suggestions that you would say to me? How do I start a shack on my own in my house?
Good question. Are you a technician, a general, an extra? What's your class?
Currently, right now, I'm a technician, and I'm going into general possibly by the fall time.
By the fall time. So anything... Are you looking for primarily VHF, UHF? Are you trying to do all things? And how much money do you want to spend?
Currently looking to get into HF. I believe that's where the fun is at. And then possibly go from there. Possibly learning how to do QSO cards, as well as asking for QSO cards as well.
How much money do you want to spend there, Ari?
You guys might laugh, but is it possible I can start with 500, or do I need to go a little bit higher?
Well, so clarifying question: do you want to spend $500 on the radio, or is that $500 all in?
I would like to do 500 all in at a beginning stage.
That's hard. I'll be honest with you, Ari. That's a hard thing to hit. I do have a link in my video description to Radioddity. They sell a radio called the G90. The G90 is $500, and that is pretty much, I think it's all band. Does it have 6? Somebody correct me. It might not have 6, but
Don't think so.
Yeah, I think it has all the HF bands except 6 meters, and that is $500. The upside, though, is that's good. That's good to get you started. That's a good starter radio. It can work as both a base station and it can work as a portable setup. But then when you factor in coax and power supply and antenna, you're going to add probably an extra $200 on top of that.
No,
so we're talking about maybe $750 to $1,000. Am I correct?
I mean, and that's starting on the low side. Yeah, that would be getting the G90 and going with a power supply that's inexpensive. So now we don't have MFJ anymore. So I would say go check out Gigaparts and their Intellitron branding that they're doing, which is it's largely MFJ Chinese, the same products that MFJ was selling. There's a link in my video description to Gigaparts as well that you can find a link to get a discount there. Coax-wise, we love ABR, we love Messi and Poloni, but some of that stuff can get really expensive. So you probably want like an RG8U coax. You can probably get away with RG8X because you're not going to do 6 meters on the G90. And then antenna-wise, well, tell me a little bit about your property. Where would you be putting the antenna up? How much space do you have, etc.? Uh-oh.
So basically, my fiance has her own house, and basically I would be doing the shack in the first floor in its own home. I am very close to lots of wires. I'm going to say they are radio wave wires or TV wires. I could possibly hook that up. And I'm also looking to, it's just its own room. It's bare, so there's nothing really in there.
No, sorry. Ari, hold on one second. I'm not that interested in the room that the radios are going in. I assume you'll have a place for that stuff. What kind of an outside property do you have, and what kind of antenna space do you have available? Do you have trees? What do you have that can help you out putting an antenna up?
We do have a tree. Yes, it's a big tree that I can hook up the tender with.
How big of a open space do you have that's available to you? What's the property size, if you don't mind me asking?
It's pretty much it's enough space. I don't know the dimensions. Like I said, I just moved here 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But I can start measuring things and then possibly getting calculation and week by week as we meet on Saturday nights. I can just continue my conversation with you on that.
Okay, yeah, that's a great option. Yeah, we're out here every Saturday, and we love people that come back and catch us up on their ongoing stories. So, a couple of thoughts that come to mind: if you have a tree, if you have buildings like other structures that you can put string an antenna between. Hold on.
There's no.
You said there was a tree? Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry as well. No, there's just a tree. There's just it's like a suburban house housing unit.
Okay.
It's no buildings.
Gotcha.
HOA?
Okay. Do you have an HOA? Are you in a homeowners association?
No, she has her own property.
Good. You already answered the most important question correctly. So
Right, and
yeah.
sorry to cut you off. Sorry to speak on top of you.
That's
That
okay.
is also why, if you guys look at my my call sign, which is Kilo Delta 9 Foxtrot Charlie Zulu. I've been having my license for the past 10 years, but this is why I did not do anything, because I was living with my mother in a condo, and yes, they had an HOA, and they had rules, and I couldn't do much with that.
Understood. Okay, so you got a couple of options. If you want to save money, homebrew your antenna. Build it. Build it out of wire that you can get from whomever. Build your own un or bal to make a dipole antenna. My first antenna was a 20-meter dipole that I cut to resonance. I used a push-up painter's pole to get that thing up in the air. That's your fastest way to save money. So if you ask me, I'd say G90, a power supply, something like the Intellitron or a PowerWorks or the 12-volt system guys that are now starting up. They're out of Chino, California. You can find them at Ham Radio Outlet. You can find Intellitron, I think that's right, at Gigaparts. Buy a decent power supply. Buy the G90. Get yourself a coax. But see, the coax is going to, the length of coax you need is going to depend on how far you're going to have to run to the antenna. So you might want to build the antenna next and decide, where you need to run it to and all that stuff. For antennas, since you have only one tree, you can do an end-fed half wave. You can try and do 40 meters, but if you're truly in the suburbs, you may only be able to do 20, and that's okay. A dipole's fine with a tree. You just have to go to stake it out in other locations. You could get a DX Commander vertical antenna, but that's going to require having a pole on the ground and guy wires and radials and all that fun stuff, which it may not work for all people. There are plenty of other options, but those would be some of my just off the cuff, right off the top suggestions.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm also considering doing. You did send out a link throughout the live stream you did previously on today's live stream.
Yep.
And I'm looking at those kits as well, and those kits have the antennas.
Which kit? Are you talking about Jason's?
Yes, the ones that was sent today.
Yeah, so Jason said he might have some new antennas available next week, and that's a great kit, but you're going to have to do a little building on that. So you're going to have like a soldering iron. You're going to have to take some time to put that together, but it's not difficult. It's not hard, I promise.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Good.
In those kits, and then learn from you as well as the other people that I've met recently before you came on. I thank everybody for their warm welcoming to me, to the community. So I'm just going to sit back, watch, and listen. And I thank you very much for your time. And we'll speak next week.
Well, thank you very much, Ari. Appreciate you coming out and asking your question. I think your question is a similar question that a lot of people have, so I hope they found some value in that. Appreciate you doing that. All right. Speaking of Jason, 1KM4ACK, he's here right now. How you doing, man? Nope. We might have lost Jason. Oh, there he is. Maybe.
Man, I can't find the unmute button.
No, you're good. You don't have to unmute. Do you have a PTT or are you un-PTT?
No, I asked Zach not to set that up. I just clicked the button. It's not an issue whatsoever.
Then you don't need to mute. You're good. But yeah. So anything that came up before I got in here? Anything you want to mention since we were live?
No, there was some other chatter going on, so I didn't interrupt. I will tell the Ari that if he is interested, he can go to that link that you dropped and get on the newsletter or the news blast that will alert you when there is new stock. Those things do not last usually over 24 hours.
Wow. There you go. Yep, and that's I love that. I love that you've been able to make antenna kits and they're continually popular. It's awesome. And it's a good antenna. Good antenna. It's value priced. Right on. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the chat. Anybody else out here for the first time that would like to say hi to the Discord or ask a question? This is your opportunity. Priority seating right now. Let's go.
Hello, this is Craig.
Hey, Craig with the good audio. How's it going, Craig?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you and say hello to everybody. I found the Discord a month or two ago, and after 20 plus years, I finally got around to studying and upgraded to general through the Discord there a couple weeks ago. So now I'm starting to try to figure out how to get set up for HF.
Excellent. Do you have any specific questions, or are you just kind of absorbing everything?
I'm still doing a lot of absorbing. The one thing I'm trying to think about a lot, like the last individual, was, what I can do for an antenna, specifically a mast. So I want to do 20 and 40 especially. So I'm trying to find a mast that I can put up that I think I want to do a dipole. I think I want to do two dipoles, one kind of north-south and one east-west off of a mast. Maybe even put a VHF, UHF on it as well. Thinking maybe something 40 feet-ish, but still trying to figure out exactly what that would look like. The way my property's laid out, it would have to be probably 100 plus feet away from my house.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's where things get interesting.
Yeah, because now you got feed line losses. Once you start going up over 100, I don't even want to get close to 100 feet if I can avoid it. Then you're like 100 feet and then 40 feet up, right? So 140 feet is what you're really talking about. That's harder to do, right? Unless you're going to use the tower as kind of like an anchor point and do like a sloping wire that goes up to it. And then the control boxes, or the transformers down back by the house. That could work. Boy, why 100 feet? Why does it have to be 100 feet from the house?
Yeah, it's just where I have a spot to put it. I don't want it too close to the house, just for aesthetics and things. Mm-hmm. But I could probably cheat it a little closer than that. But yeah, I don't want it too close, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to get it over there. Yeah, and obviously feed line loss is a problem. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Let's see. No trees then, I assume, either, right? Is that why you're going full mast kind of approach?
I don't have a lot of great trees for it. I can probably, the mast I'm thinking would be in the center of the dipole, and then I'm still kind of back and forth between like an inverted V type thing, or there are some trees that I could probably go to, so that the V doesn't come clear down to the ground, right? Or as close to the ground as 40 feet will get it. I could go to some smallish trees from the mast center point, but I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah. You okay with guy lines too with this mast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have to for that height.
Probably, yeah. So the one that comes to mind, and it's actually it's still relatively affordable, is the Roan push-up mast, and I think they come in 30, 40, and 50-foot varieties. The 40-foot is kind of the sweet spot. So the 40-foot Roan mast is push-up. I think it's like 4 segments, and every segment has a guy ring or a guy plate. And I think you could probably get away with the lower or second lowest guy plate, guying that out, and then the top guy line, and then just kind of anchor them down. And you can use oh gosh, what it's the group that is always at all these ham fests. They're Mastronics or Mastron. They have all these they have all this hardware.
Mastrant?
Mastrant. Thank you. That was it, Don. Mastrant. Mastrant has all kinds of good equipment for doing vertical push-up masts. They have all the anchoring equipment, everything you want. They also have pulleys for if you did want to use a tree. I love that, but it's often a really good idea to use a pulley system to get the dipole legs up in the air, and then you can bring them down, bring them back up, because you might, what a lot of people do with a dipole is, particularly if you're going through all this effort putting up a vertical mast, is that they put up the dipole and they go, well, that's just like one band, so what can I do more? And then they start adding elements. They start doing like a fan dipole setup and all this stuff. So having a pulley that you can bring the thing down and bring it back up is really, really nice for that. I know K6ARK is in the house, and I know he's used an off-center fed dipole for a really long time, or I don't know if he still does, but he did for a long time. And that's a good antenna option as well, considering you might have a asymmetric property layout kind of thing, and that might work perfectly.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I can look at that. I guess if I did do off-centered, I could probably shorten my distance some that way as well. Make the feed line go up closer to the house.
Well, an off-center fed's still going to be center fed, but you'll be able to bring the mast maybe a little bit closer with the short leg, I guess, is kind of the idea. You're still going to be running a pretty significant amount of coax, though, from my point of view.
Comment?
So I think Don was going to say something, and then we'll go to the next comment.
Yeah, the only thing I was wondering, Josh, because I do have a Roan push-up mast. Mm-hmm. When I talked to DX Engineering and Gigaparts, both of them told me the shipping on that thing was tremendous, way more than the cost of the mast.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why not one of the push-up masts?
Yeah, so let me respond to Don really quickly. If you buy it from Ham Radio Outlet, they'll ship it in between, or they'll have them dispersed throughout the country. And if you have one that's closer to you, you might be able to pick them up in the store.
Oh, I talked to them directly, and they said no. And there's in Dallas there is a place called Texas Towers, and they have the masts laying in there in mass. And I just went in and picked one up. So that's the reason I have it. But the HRO even told me, no, we don't have any in the stores, and to get it shipped from where you're at to Texas would be, again, probably over $500 to $600 just to ship.
So this is a bit of a deep dive you'll have to do, but you'll probably save money on the back end if you do your homework on this. So Don's absolutely right. I went into HRO and I bought the Roan mast, and they said, okay, we're putting in the order. Go pick it up in Santa Fe Springs, California. That's like 2 miles from my house. So I literally bought it in HRO. They sent the order to the factory, and I picked it up at the location, and I drove it home. So what you might want to do here is figure out a licensed physical retailer in your area or close to your area that sells Roan products. You don't have to go through a ham radio store or retailer. You could go direct, in the sense you can call them and say, hey, you guys have telecommunications equipment, you have these Roan towers, can I get, or not tower, mast, can I come pick one up? And they'll sell it to you directly in most cases.
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm
DX Engineering doesn't stock them?
Well, they will, but you're going to pay freight. You're going to pay freight shipping costs, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually only a couple hours from DX Engineering. I'm in Western
then drive over and pick one up. Yeah, definitely. Because they're about $114.
They're also
expensive at all.
No, they're very inexpensive. The problem is that the base, when it's all collapsed, I think it's over 10 feet. So
Yes, it is.
It's cumbersome enough. I can manhandle the whole thing. I can hold it up and swing it around.
Easily.
It's not heavy. It's just long, right? So shipping it is a pain. So you should go pick it up if you can. You'll save a ton of money.
Yeah,
I can easily get the DX engineering.
Yeah, the other thing is
There you
too,
go.
when those masts, you do not want to stand that mast up and then start raising it. You want to raise it and walk it up because it's literally 10 feet tall. So you're at least going to have to get a ladder, at least for me. I'm not tall enough, but I would have to have a ladder to climb up on in order to start, at the 10-foot section level and start raising the other two sections. Because I got a 30-foot.
I can see.
So just keep that in mind. I mean, just get some buddies, right?
I can see where you're going with that, and I'm not going to say you're wrong, particularly when it comes to guying it, for sure. But I did have the advantage of having a cinder block retaining wall that I lag bolted it into, and I had 3 anchor spots that I lag bolted it into, and then I was easily able to put a ladder next to it, and I could just push it up, and I guided out as I went. I adjusted the guys, like the base ring, second base ring is where it's guide, and then the top base ring is where it's guide, and I tension them all up, and easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my hex beam on top of it. So.
Oh, that's a whole different game. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
different game. If you put if you got a heavy antenna on top, like heavier, like a hex beam, then yeah, you should walk it up that way. But if you're just using it as a dipole center mast, use a pulley and use some Dacron line as the hoist. Oh, that's great. That'll be great. That'll work well for you.
Okay. Yeah, and I was thinking, do you think I need to, because I was kicking around getting like a 12-foot 4x4 or something at Home Depot and putting like 3 feet or 4 feet of that in the ground and then being able to anchor it to that. Do you think there's a need for that, or will the guy wires and the base plate hold it well enough?
When you say 4x4, you mean a piece of wood?
Yeah.
It's gonna get eaten up by bugs and stuff. No, I would not. It'll rot over time. I would not do that. The way you do these masts is by appropriately guying them. That's the right way. They sell a base plate, which is it's like a 2-foot square that you use as the mounting spot for the mast, and then it goes up and you guy it out tightly. A well guying system is going to be the way to go.
And what Josh said is true. All of that Mastrant stuff carries all of it. And they even have some of their own stuff. So look at what they've got. In fact, I would talk to the guys in the store about what you're going to do and have them suggest how to guy it up. But yeah, it'll guy up and stay up really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Comment.
Okay, wait, hold on. We had a comment. Was it Mike? Who was it?
Yeah, just a way to mitigate the long loss on a dipole or other antenna by using a balun, converting it to balanced, run the balance line along your fence, maybe 8-9 feet. Just hold it off the fence. We had a mate who did this. He had 250 foot of RJ. What was it? RJ7.
Wow.
And yeah, he was losing a lot of RF down that.
Yeah.
And he literally made 600 ohm feeder up for the same length, put a 9-to-1 at each end, a balun, not a 9-to-1, a proper balun at each end, and that made a massive difference. And of course, it's cost pennies compared to coax. And of course, if you're only doing a dipole and that, if you're only doing HF, that's what the old guys used to do. So that's another way. You can also, if you really like, if you are just using a dipole, you can also use 72 ohm feeder to feed a single dipole, which is literally speaker wire, and that has virtually no loss at all, up to 400 feet. So there are other options other than coax. In fact, I even at one time found variable 300 ohm ladder line, which is really obscure. It's out there somewhere.
That's
I never
wild.
did find it again.
Yeah.
But it was basically, if you can imagine, like a hose pipe, but with two wires circulating through it, and that was variable 300 ohm feeder.
That's crazy.
I did a search for it because someone again was on the Discord, and somebody was trying to do the same thing. And I said, "Well, look, there is variable 300 ohm twin," and it was quite expensive, but it wasn't anywhere near the loss on HF that coax is. You know,
wow.
So there are other options out there, but yeah, that was the one we used for. In fact, quite a good member on the Discord. With that was how he got his. He calls it the Crapex commander because he's hung it off a tree. But there you go. But yeah, it's something like that, and that's how he got his signal to work. He basically we just connected 600 ohm feeder between two balance. Of course, you can run coax into the shack then as you like.
Right.
But I think the improvement was something like 2.5 S points. So you'd 12 dB or something. So yeah, quite a reasonable amount.
All right, good tip. All right, there was another comment in there. Go ahead.
N8OU, I just wanted to recommend Max Gain Systems. They have fiberglass push-up masks that I've had up for about 10 years and have worked very well, 50 feet, and they come in short enough sections that they can ship it to you.
Yeah, how much do those cost?
Oh, you'll have to look at their webpage. Like I said, I bought them 10 years ago. Certainly the prices have changed. Max Gain Systems.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with them, but what I've run into with them is the cost of those versus like the Roan. The Roan would be about $114. Those run, say, $300 to $500.
Last time I looked on, they were about what you say, $300 to $500, depending on whether it was heavy duty or not.
I mean, they're great masts. No, I prefer push-up masts, but if you can get a Roan and you're willing to go through that, I would do it because it's it is that much cheaper.
Someone did put a comment. Sorry, button in again. Someone put a comment in the chat that you can actually order those push-up masts, Roam ones, from Walmart, and I've seen the advert for that, so I can collaborate that. They do occasionally sell them. Well, they could called Channel Master push-up mast, 40 feet, and I've seen them at Walmart. Online, I don't know. You'd have to see if there's one local to you that can get it, but they're $250 according to this man's post. It's 2:46 a.m. the post. So yeah.
Amazon also has something called Easy Up that's well reviewed, and it looks exactly like a Roan as well. I still, if you can get a Roan, I would go get a Roan, but
right. Yeah,
the Channel Master and the Easy Ups are. There's even hams that have commented on how good they are, but I don't have any experience with them.
Okay.
How do you spell that, Roan?
ROHN.
Okay.
Sorry, John.
Thanks.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Cool. All right.
Guys, how you doing?
Hey.
I got that. I got one of the Easy Ups off of Amazon, and I don't have anything to compare it to, but I haven't had any problems with it. It's like cheap, galvanized fencing, but it's in the push-up pole configuration. You have to tighten the sections with wrench, and so far it hasn't come down on me, but I have one of the Amazons, and it's working for me.
Right on. Thank you, Bill, for that feedback there. Let's see. There was a question way back. Gosh, we're gonna have to go back here. Somebody asked a question about a K6 ARK antenna that they're not. Yeah, there it is. I found it. Adam, are you here? I see.
I am indeed.
Yeah. Got a question about the K6 ARK antenna. I'm trying to tune this 20-watt end fed, and I think I messed it up. I'm only getting one SWR dip at about 250 megahertz, no matter what length. And so he's on Discord, so he might have to repost his question because I saw it on YouTube. That was from Brickhouse. So Brickhouse, come back and let us know. But yeah, what would you think about that, Adam? That's probably a deeper problem with the transformer potentially.
Yeah, the most common issue that people encounter is not getting enough enamel off of the wire, not having a hot enough soldering iron. So, so the easy way to check for that is to take just a regular, multimeter, set it to continuity check mode or just resistance mode, and that should show 0 resistance when you touch the 2 probes together. And then you want to probe basically every sort of input or output spot versus every other input or output spot. So, for example, resistance from the BNC or whatever the RF connector is, center pin to the case or the ground of the RF connector, you should have roughly 0 ohms resistance. Then you want to probe from the BNC center pin to the antenna wire. You should have 0 ohms resistance again. You should probe the BNC center pin to the counterpoise if you used one. You should also have 0 ohms there. And then the same thing from the ground or the case of the BNC to those other outputs. And if you find a spot where you don't have continuity, it's most likely one of your solder points on the magnet wire to the PCB. So you're also welcome to email me on that, and if that check pans out, oftentimes probably the next most common error is just hitting the wrong pads with the wrong wires. And if you take a close-up photo of the matching unit, kind of high-res photo, I can usually spot the problem. There's only been like a couple of times where someone has had issues that I couldn't solve through pictures and email. And I think I had one of the guys send one of those back to me, and I still couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with it. So sometimes that just happens.
So I'm in here.
Oh, he's here. Go for it, man.
So I have continuity between the center pin and the counterpoise, and from the barrel to the antenna. And I checked it with the car and fed half wave, and that one works, and it's the same setup. But every time I try to put a wire on it, I'm only getting that dip at 250 megahertz.
Yeah, so the next thing I would suspect is perhaps mixing up the ground and the input. Did you build? Did the kit have one of the black PCBs? The current version?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you build following the text, the written instructions, or did you try to follow the video instructions?
I actually followed your instructions, and I was also watching Josh's video on it as well as a few others.
Okay.
Mine's the older
I think
one,
the videos are an older version of the PCB, and it may have steered you wrong. So, so if you can send, if you put the heat shrink on, peel off the heat shrink.
Take a picture of it. Post it in the live.
Send some close-up photos, and I should be able to tell if the right wires are to the right pads, and that's the most likely problem there.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, 20 meters is
and if all
open.
else fails, let me know. I'm always happy to send spare parts so you can rebuild all the sort of consumable parts that get messed up by attempting builds are things that are very flat, and I can send in a regular envelope taped to a QSL card. So I'm more than happy to send you spare parts to keep trying if you're not able to sort it out or you need spare parts for some reason. Not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Right on. All right, let's go back to the well here. Is there anybody else out here that's joining us for the first time on Discord that'd like to say hi and or ask a question? Go ahead.
I actually had another question.
Oh, sure. We'll take it. Go for it.
So I did a POTA. I live in the Cleveland area, and I went to Lake Erie to do a POTA. And I was set up my antenna. It's a vertical intelligence JP12, I think it is. and it wouldn't tune up. I was getting crazy SWR on my radio, and what could be a good way to counteract, like setting it up in the sand and those type of things.
What type of antenna was it again?
The Challegence JP12.
Is that that's the trapped vertical?
Yes.
So ground composition with base loaded verticals can be a challenge. What I've found is by altering the amount of radials you're using is generally the only way you can adjust that, unless you, because what's going to happen is if you're using an antenna analyzer, you're just going to you'll find the bottom of a dip, and it's still going to be like 2.5 to 1 or something along those lines, which by the way is fine for most radios. They're not going to fret too much about that. But if you want to see it get lower than that, you generally have to like lower down your radials or up the radials at some amount. How many radials does it come with?
It comes with a ribbon that you can separate them out. I've got them paired at the moment into 5 pairs, but I can separate them out into 10.
Okay.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
Having spoken to someone who has one of those over here in Blighty, the first thing you do is chuck the radials in the dustbin because they're a fat lot of use. Make your own 30-foot radials or 7, between 2.5 to, well, let's put it in feet, hang on, between 7 feet and 30 feet radials, and just put up with the extra bit of inconvenience in space. Because that literally is just very thin ribbon cable that you'd probably connect a printer up with back in the 70s. It's not
Right.
terribly great wire.
Not
That's
good
literally
wire.
what it's made of, Josh.
Right. Is
It's
it really?
literally made
I didn't
of-
know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's made of ribbon cable. You know, the sort of thing you connect up internal parts of a PC with.
Your
It's
LPT
that
printer
stuff.
cable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that stuff. So it's not great cable to start with, and then, you know, so you're better off just making new decent radials to a length that you can easily handle. And you know, if they're under 10 meters, then the more the merrier. That's my advice. We did a POTA recently, me and Rob, with a young man who had one of those, and that's what he found, that the stock ones are great and they're nice and compact, but they don't work that greatly. And there is a few videos out on people have had challenging times trying to get that thing to work anyway, but I think most of it does seem to come down to those silly radios that they provide with it, as far as I can work out.
Yeah.
How about a magic carpet?
Yeah. Magic carpet would be better.
You know, anything's worth a try, isn't it?
I will.
That's why we do this.
I will add this. Make your own 16 radials at 8'9" each, and spread them out, and you will have lots of fun.
Good question from Ryan, because I know people are thinking this. Do radials need to be tuned? So generally, if you're using a vertical, it's going to be 1/4 wavelength of the operating frequency that you're on. If you were measuring that out as a dipole, so 1/2 of a dipole in radial length is kind of like what is recommended. But what happens is your composition of the ground is going to affect the antenna itself and the radial system, but you can just add more radials. You just keep adding radials, and I think there's a break-even point of like 130 something radials, which is ridiculous. But a lot of times you can get away from just having 30 plus radials and have them all like 4 feet or 6 feet and spread them out. Oh, was something going to say that, man? Go ahead. Okay. Well,
I was going to have a comment on that. As far as I know, radials being tuned matters more the higher off the ground the radials are. If you're on the ground, the length doesn't really matter. You just need as much as possible.
You got it. Exactly. That was what I was just going to get into. So if you're using something like a Buddy Stick Pro with the elevated radial, then that length, it's almost like it's a dipole that has a horizontal leg sticking off the ground. So that, the distance, the length, very important. But for a radial system where the wires are on the ground, then it's just a matter of like, just get more of them up, get better radials, better wire, that kind of stuff, and just put more of them up. That's generally my approach to radials. Elevated radials are a little bit rarer these days. You just don't see a lot of them.
An elevated vertical is a more efficient vertical. I don't know why, but that's what I've been told.
Oh, you've been listening to ham jazz, haven't you?
Yeah, I was going to say something.
No. That was from somebody that's doing a vertical phased array. And they use raised verticals because they're more efficient for that kind of thing.
Interesting.
That is the case the closer you get to VHF. So if you're like 20 meters and up, it is more efficient to have, but that's when you start to need to move the aerial at least quarter wave above the ground as well. So then, of course, you have to move the ground planes quarter wave up to match them. Otherwise, you're going to end up with droopy bits. So that's the case. Yeah, I mean, 2 meters, they don't really work very well on the ground. So you need them up in the air. So then you need your antennas and you need your radios up in the air with it. So the closer the higher you go in frequency, the more likely you're going to need to use raised verticals.
Isn't that only true in VHF, UHF because you're doing line of sight?
10's the same. I mean, I'm suffering at the moment. My aerial won't tune on 10, and that's because the thing's 4 feet off the ground because of problems in my location. Not enough poles. So I've run out of poles at the moment, so I'm having a bit of a technical itch. But yeah, it really, the sort of, once you start getting near VHF, yeah, you're right. That's when you start to need to make raised verticals. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. Just tuck them on the ground and go for it.
Well, there's a good opportunity for me to parlay this into my issue that I'm dealing with. So there's a question that we got on Discord from K4BTH. I've been thinking about putting together a small kit for travel. This kit would be for air travel or times when I don't have space for a larger kit. And then there's more information on the Discord. I own a KX3 and a True SDX. I need speaker wire. I need a speaker wire mic. I need a speaker mic. However, I have thought about the KX2. Thoughts on good radios for small kits? Boy, howdy, you gave me exactly the parlay I needed to talk about my current conundrum. And yeah, you guys are gonna try and help me today. So here is New York City, right? This is Manhattan, right by this area right here. You probably can't see it that well on the screen, but there's 3 parks. Statue of Liberty is off here in the water area, but right here is the Battery. Castle Clinton. This is I think an easy POTA from my point of view. It's got lots of access viewpoints to the water. I'm not worried about that at all. But the 2 parks more inland than that are the Federal Hall National Memorial, which was historically where George Washington was inaugurated as president, which is kind of cool. And then deeper in further, and this is all within the stock exchange area, the African Burial Grounds National Monument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the info here. Let's go to more info. This is on the POTA website. So these are the activations of this park. There are 5. Actually, a little bit more than that. I take that back. There are 7. 7 activations. Not a lot of activations on this park. And if you go to Google Maps, let's pull up Google Maps. Actually, not Google Maps. Google Earth. Google Earth. Let's go. Let me show you what we're looking at here. Maybe there we go. So if I drop okay, leave me alone. If I drop my lat longs in here, go baby, go! All right. taxing the stream computer on this heavy render Google S. So there's. Go ahead.
Did you by chance go to that website that they had in the description, the POTA description?
Which website?
There was a website there, the government website for the park.
No. Why?
Just to see if there are any restrictions on doing activations there.
There's
Do you have to have a permit or anything?
There's a couple of people who have done it, and no, I didn't. I'm just gonna plead.
Oh, okay. Just curious. See that one?
Yeah, I did. So let me drop the dude here. Let's go to the street view.
Sure.
Maybe. Oh, look at that! What the 3D render is happening right now.
You can see the court case now. Just
I know,
the
right?
YouTube video being played. I'm going to play the stupidity.
If I that's the stock exchange, right? So here is the area that I would potentially be activating in. This is all foot traffic-y area. And right here, this is the POTA.
Oh gosh.
There's a statue of George Washington right there.
If that guy can sit on it, you can put an antenna on it, right?
Why is it freaking out? What? I'm not even doing anything. It's losing its mind. Calm down, dude. Calm down.
Are you on Starlink too?
I don't know what it's
Perhaps
doing.
you could borrow his umbrella.
Oh my God! What have I done? Google Earth, come on, man. What are you doing?
You need a hot dog?
I do need a hot dog, actually. Yes, I need a New York hot dog. Actually, I want like a shawarma or something. That's what I'm really aiming for. Oh man, this is.
Josh, can I comment real quick? Get you one.
Well, let me try and get a good picture here. Well, okay, actually, I'll take that back. While I'm getting a good picture, you go ahead and give me your comment.
So on the Maps website for that park, because I'm in South Jersey, and I do that area quite a bit. They just put up scaffoldings to do restoration project on the building. I'm not sure how well or how angry they're going to be with you if you're trying to put up an antenna or something like that.
What if I tune up the scaffolding?
I mean, I'm not saying don't do it.
Doesn't that depend on how many people fall off after you've done it?
I know from experience in that area. I know from experience in that area, a lot of people on the hard to activate ones use tri-band handhelds.
So interesting point. I ended up emailing one of the guys who had the most contacts, right? Because I was curious. I'm like, how did you do this? And so he came back to me and he gave me this like really, really nice email with all kinds of information. And he actually linked me.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna pull up a link and I'm gonna drop it in here and I'm gonna copy it and drop it in the chat. He goes through all of the parks in Manhattan, and he's only not been able to activate one of them, which was the African Burial Memorial. So he breaks them all down. He goes through the whole list. Now, let me see if I can find. Yeah, this is further north. We're going south. Okay, so there's the African Burial Ground. He wasn't able to do that. So there is what he set up at Federal Hall. He set up a full-on hamstick dipole, and he was rocking a backpack with a 100-watt radio in it. That's his rig right there, and he was able to do it. I'm like, yeah, buddy, that is Hammond Harder for sure. In the middle of like downtown New York City, to rocking this rig. This is what he rocked. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Me, not gonna do that. So that's kind of the challenge I have here is, what do I do? I'm thinking I almost have to go FT8. That's the only way I'm gonna get a signal out, or I have to go CW. But so I'm I don't know.
Are you thinking of the KX2 and AX1?
I'm thinking KX2. Go ahead, Zach. What are you gonna say?
I was going to say the 705 with the AX1, just for the reason that you can do the Bluetooth/Wi-Fi to the app and one FT8 from your phone.
But that means I got to bring a tuner. The AX1 needs a tuner. So So I mean that's my conundrum, right? So I'm actually looking at two potentials, right? So the KX2 seems like the go, but I'm also considering just throwing the KH1 in the backpack as well and just trying it man pack CW. I mean, I'm not very good at CW, but at this point it's like there's only like 7 people who have activated this park. Anything I try is worth it. Why not? And I can just stand there and do it with the KH1 versus KX2 with the laptop. I'm gonna have to have like, you know, the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm really stuck.
I mean, does the activation have to be HF? Just activate it on 14652 with an HT.
I mean, assuming that there's people that are monitoring, and there probably are, but I don't know, right? Just load up the hot dog stand. See, that's the type of stuff, the avant-garde thinking I expect from the Ham Radio Crash Course community right here. I appreciate that.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
You've got a big enough audience. If you just tell people when you're going to be there, you know, put out a notification, somebody will listen.
That's what you're doing now.
Yeah, so put me in your ham alerts, everybody, because I'll be out there, and I will have an HT with a half wave vertical, and I know those kill. That'll be great. So everybody ham alert me. Get all set up here because these are very rare parks. So getting them actually as a hunter is actually pretty cool to have.
And if you don't,
go ahead.
And if you don't know how to set up ham alert, I have a video that teaches you how to do it.
There you go. Yeah.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
I was wondering if the parking spaces next to that monument are within the activation zone.
According to the maps, they are not.
I think you have to be like almost physically on the sidewalk or within really close proximity. So again, like we're talking. So I think if I understand, so let's go back to that video. Where do you think he set this up? I think it's right. Is it right there? No, it's not. That's not. I don't know where he set this up.
Over on that, where that sign is at the very far corner?
Well, look at the building that is adjacent.
You see on the right-hand side where you see that in the middle of the white thing going up on the other building? Isn't he on top of that little piece next to the stairs?
Yeah, he's on that one.
Yeah, so he's so the smaller picture is the stock exchange. So he's looking across that courtyard area towards the stock exchange. So he is right. I don't know where he's at, actually. I think he was on this little stoop. This little stoop area right here.
Yeah, that's where I was going to say.
Jody has a good idea.
That's wild. If I could just go sit up there and nobody will mess with me, that'd be awesome. I would totally do that. And don't worry, I'm definitely going to record getting arrested. But I don't think it'll come to that. What did Jody have to say?
Interstellar Starman said, well, Interstellar said he'll post your bail if that happens. And Jody said, bust out your guitar and pretend you're busking, but stealthily conceal a vertical inside of the speaker tower.
There it is. That's the move right there. Busk. I don't play guitar though. See, I'm already at a disadvantage. So interestingly enough, the individual who did this, his presentation, didn't get questioned at all. No one questioned him, and there was cops everywhere. He actually looked at him and waved at a couple of them. No one ever came up to him.
When did he do it?
Probably pre-COVID, I think. Well, we can go check. Here, hold on. Let's go back. I'll give you his call sign. Yeah. So it's K0BAK is I went after the ones that had like the biggest, and he activated it twice. So he did it in 2016. So it's been a while. And yes, he did it on Christmas Eve, was the one where he got the most contacts. But yeah, Smart guy. He was like, yeah, we did a bunch of them on Christmas Eve. I'm like, yeah, that's dedication right there. Because was 2016 National Parks on the Air? Like that was right off the heels of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm thinking the KH1 might be the way to go, because I'm just standing there and if somebody asks me, it's like, oh, I'm listening to the radio. It's the most unobtrusive like thing you could do. Oh, I'm just standing here because I get better reception. Like I'm just on this stoop because I get better reception. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just listening. You know.
But there isn't anything actually wrong with doing it, right?
No, and well, you know me. I have no problem with people coming up and talking to me. I love that. But I mean, that's what you can expect. I mean, look at this. This is. I was actually thinking right here on this little stoopy bit, like get around this pillar and just kind of sit right on the side and just like set up the KX2 with the AX1 and just rock out. See if I can make it happen.
So I have a thought. I think if you're going to do this, and especially with the audience that you're able to prearrange, you should do something that's really challenging. You should do something that's never been done before. Like, for instance, do it on microwave, like 23 or even 13, or just something that nobody would plan to unless the point is to do something really big.
Then I can cook the hot dogs and make contacts at the same time.
Yeah.
No, but the problem is there's not enough people. There's just not enough activators or chasers.
Yeah, and those frequencies are line of sight, and with all those buildings, you never get through them.
That's why it's a challenge, right?
Now, but I want to activate the park. So let me go back to this for a second, because this is the coolest part of this whole thing. So when he went out on Christmas Eve, the individual he went out with had a 40-meter dipole, and they used George Washington as the center position for the dipole on Christmas Eve. Yes, that's awesome. It's so cool. So yeah, they literally set up a dipole on George Washington's head and activated the park. Isn't that awesome? That's so...
Can you imagine the RFI though on Christmas Eve with all the lights?
Oh, I don't know. Well, they did it, so I mean, it must not have been that bad.
Obviously, yeah.
I was like, yes, man, that's the ham radio spirit right there. That's awesome. I love that so much.
That was also before LED Christmas lights were that popular. It was back in 2016.
Oh, EP's harshing my buzz hard. So the actual federal building is covered in scaffolding. Wow. I think I have to bring the tuner then. No, wait, but the KX2 has a tuner. I might be able to tune up the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Make sure you stream it live.
I mean, unless it's Faraday scaffolding.
Can't put a wire. No, I'm not planning on putting any wires up. I'm probably going to bring I'm going to bring a mast. If I get arrested, I'm not going to bring my highly coveted POTA 20, because those are super rare right now. So I'm probably going to bring my Soda Beams mast, and I will have some end fed just in case. But for this, I'm probably not going to do a vertical or a long wire.
No, you could do a car ride, because you just have a 17-foot counterpoise.
Interesting. This is an interesting. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to pack a number of things to be prepared for this.
And as Jody said, bring only sacrificial items.
Now what's the next park?
Okay, so that is, I think this is the hardest one, the Federal Hall, to be honest.
Okay.
I think, but the next one is difficult because of access. So we'll go to the easy one last, because that's like I have no. By the way, Parks on the Air. If I was in New York and I go back, don't bring me to BFE nowhere. I don't know why it thinks I'm in Barstow right now, but make it easy for me to get back to where I was searching. So, okay, New York. Come on. Okay.
It also may be helpful for you to print a copy of your FCC license?
I have one.
Like an actual hard copy?
No, I've got a badge.
Great
I've got a badge with my FCC license on it, so I'm just gonna have that on me when I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm gonna. Yeah, buddy. No, it's got my logo on it. But yeah, you could have got it with the POTA. So okay, let's go back
and
to
a black polo shirt with like an embroidered logo on it of something official looking.
I could pack my high-vis vest. I could
you definitely should, yeah.
I could do
We could send you a high-vis with the logo on, and
I already have a high-vis with the logo on it.
Many Motorolers.
I might do that. I
was taking pictures one time at an event and wearing just a random shirt with an embroidered logo on it, and people were like, "Are you here in an official capacity?" I was like, "No, I just found this polo shirt and put it on."
So here is the African burial ground monument. So let's wait for this to get sorted out. So this is much more like the urban side of, there's actual streets here. So this, oddly enough, I believe gets closed off to the public. Like you can't just like sit here, even though there's a dude sitting there right now. Let me see if I can back out a little bit. Oh, see, I did it.
Are there hours maybe where it's open or closed?
Well, I'll be there, unfortunately, on a weekday. I won't be there on a weekend. So, oh my goodness.
Now you're peeping in people's windows.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's do that again.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around you thinking of even the possibility of getting arrested for being at a public
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't think that will happen.
No.
Go back to my video about knocking on people's doors about ham radio. I don't have a problem with any of this stuff. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try, assuming my batteries all hold up. But anyway, so there's the African burial monument. And there is a little bench here, which hypothetically you could sit at. And if it's open, yeah, I could just sit there with the KX2. Nobody's going to bat an eye at that.
Mm-hmm.
So some of it's closed off right now. It says because of the outside spaces showing signs of stress. But there's also a visitor center.
What the hell does the outside spaces are showing signs of stress? What does that mean?
So several features within the monument's outdoor memorial are temporarily closed due to safety concerns.
Okay.
The ancestral chamber is showing signs of stress and must be assessed prior to reopening. But there's also a visitor center down the street, which is also a part of the African Burial Ground National Monument. So you might be able to use the visitor center to activate.
Oh.
Yeah, but if the monument's under stress, you may still be able to sit at the bench.
Yeah, I just want to sit outside. I just need to be within the park range.
Right.
I have no desire to go inside anywhere. That would not be helpful for my goals.
I mean, if you're going to carry a KX2, you don't even really need to sit. It's still nice to, but it's not a requirement then.
Well, if I'm going to do so, these are the things we have to consider, right? Because hypothetically, yeah, because I mean, I could even stand just on this little wall right here and just set the radio up on. In fact, that might be the jam. That might be the spot to do it. It's just I'm on the sidewalk, I'm outside, I'm just using this to put the KX2 and the little laptop and do the jam. Because again, while I know I can make CW contacts, I don't know that I'm going to get much of any RF out. 2, I don't know like how many people are going to come back to me. Like this could, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what to expect. So with the KX2 and the little laptop, I know I can do FT8. I know I can. This little setup, I tested it all up today. I'm going to drag all this stuff out with me. But I'm thinking even like the KX1 just in case, because I can handhold it, I can write on it, I can just do the thing. Right? I had initially I had big big delusions of grandeur that I was going to drag the QRP station out and do 50 watts, but I don't think that's going to work. It's just too much. It's just too much.
You're just an uncharted.
I think the KX1's the easiest bet, honestly.
What's that, Adam?
Oh, I was just saying, I think the KH1 is probably the easiest option from a functional standpoint, because you can easily just send that whip out. The biggest potential issue is just so much RFI that you can't hear anybody.
I'm with you 100%, but I'm literally bucking against my capabilities. It's literally me. I am now the bottleneck, right? Like, that radio is well beyond me. And to try and do 3 POTAs on CW, it's like, oh my gosh, my heart's going to be pound, and I've got to, walk 2 miles.
But you'll come back an expert.
Fair enough. I always forget POTA is also 10 contacts, not just 4.
Right.
4 is pretty easy to achieve on SOTA.
Yeah, I would be
10
fine. I'd be fine with 12 contacts total to activate 3 parks. That'd be fine. But 30, and I'm not very good in CW. That's like, it's a lot. So I don't know, man. Yeah,
Can't they read? Sorry, Josh.
No, you're good, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, can't they reschedule a SOTA on the top of the Empire State Building? And
Could I do that?
Right?
Could I do that? Yeah.
Or the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that is a POTA, but I have. Okay, there's really only like one. Actually, there might be more now. Hold on, we should probably go check that. So maybe that's. That's an interesting thing then. Okay, hold on. Let's go back here. Let's go check out Statue of Liberty.
Will she antenna?
Yeah, they'll shoot me if I try to antenna the Statue of Liberty. That I will not mess with.
Grounded though in it. I think she's pretty much grounded,
Yeah, but it'll still work. It'll still do something. So let's see how many activations the actual Statue of Liberty's got. By the way, that guy who did that talk for the Long Island CW Club, he's activated the Statue of Liberty. So let's see. How many activate? Oh, there's actually way more than I thought. Somebody got 98 contacts at the Statue of frickin' Liberty. Oh, he's an SK too. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
only one phone and all 97 CW.
Yeah, that's 97 CW. That's the man right there. That's awesome. I did message Howard that I'm going to be in. I told him the dates that I'll be in town. I'm being cagey about the dates just because I'm out here on the internet. But if you put me in Ham Alert, you'll probably get a pretty good idea real quick.
Is WJ6F, is that Craig?
I don't.
YouTube Craig?
Is it?
Yeah.
What? I didn't realize he. And when did he do it? He did it this month. He did it this month.
He did it the same time he did what's his face? Ellis Island.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's super cool. Maybe I should bug. Where's he at? Where's he Is he in that area?
Yeah, I don't know. I just recognize the call.
He's a Six Land guy though, so
I do believe he's down there in SoCal with you.
He's that Craig. Oh, he's that Craig. Oh yeah, no, I know Craig. He's HR. Like I talked to that guy at HRO. I didn't know he did that. That's awesome. Good for him. That's sweet. Oh, I love that. Man. Okay.
How is he number 5? Oh, in park leaders. Oh,
he's not. He's just
he's activator.
Yeah. He's just the most recent activations. 1 through 5 is total QSOs.
So I heard that he bought a $70 permit to do that as well. So I'm not sure how true that is. You might have to ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that too. You have to get permission to do anything like that at Statue of Liberty. Which, again, I'm not trying to ask permission from anybody. I'm just going to do this.
I mean, that could have been a parking permit for all we know.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's very expensive to park your car at the Statue of Liberty.
I meant in the city. Come on
now. Excuse me.
Chuck needs to go activate Alcatraz.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Yep.
Are you allowed to fly a kite at the Statue of Liberty?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
I believe the waters are also still patrolled as well.
Okay, so then the last park, and this is where I'm highly confident. So if I can't make this work, we're dead. We're dead in the water. We just can't make this work. So the battery park is where the Clinton. It's a fort basically. But hold on, this is a cool freaking park. Also, I think my wife has like stipulated that I will spend only 1 hour to do each one of the. I get like 3 hours total for all these parks. So I don't know, honey, if you're watching, but I don't know if that's real.
Is the whole family gone?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been there once, and it was a blast.
Yeah, let me pull this up. Okay, so yeah,
and by the way,
perfect.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Well, how are you getting to these parks? Are you going to taxi cab?
No, we're just gonna take the subway from the hotel to the ferry for the to go to the
and then walk to each one.
Yeah.
Oh,
much.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty, but the rest of them.
It's a mile between all of them. Look at this. This is great. I got no problem doing this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this horizon we got here. An actual horizon in New York. I'll take that all day. I got no problem activating that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going very stealthy on all of this. I will be recording, but I have I picked up an Osmo Pocket 3 camera, so I'm going to be shooting everything with the Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm actually really excited about. That thing is insanely powerful. If anybody's interested in a YouTube, like a vlogger type camera, the Osmo Pocket 3 might be the one for you. That thing is, I've been playing around with it, and I've been loving it.
T.O. was using his last night on his live stream.
Yeah, because it's a webcam too. I'm going to use it. So I'm going to have to use it for a live stream at some point. And yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. Is that saltwater? Yes, it is. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It sounds like you're interested most in the KX2 with the AX1, different than the KH1, because you can do sideband and CW with the KX2, where you can't do sideband. So it would give you more capability to have the KX2.
Yeah, I think you're right on the well. The KX2 offers more options for me. I can do single sideband, I can do CW, I can do digital modes. The KH1 is CW only, but the KH1 is hand portable friendly. That as weird as I'll look doing that, it will be less weird than me deploying this with an antenna sticking out of the top of it in almost all situations. So that's kind of what my thought process was.
More options are always more better in a situation, though.
Yeah, so good question from the Traveling Ham. Does a vertical have any real chance, though? So on single sideband, way less, straight up, way less. But on CW and digital, it has a chance. It has a chance. At 10 contacts, that's at the park here. Hold on, let me go back. There, that won't be a problem. I won't have a problem doing that. But even there, I can put up a wire antenna if I wanted to. So that goes back to having a mast and no problem with that. So that's my challenge.
Mm-hmm. Looks fun.
Hey Josh, just looking at battery.
Oh, so many people at once. I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. One at a time, please.
So what about the
Hey
True
Josh,
SDX?
did it again.
Okay, so I heard. What about the True SDX? No, no. I got to go with the radio that I know well. The True SDX is. Well, go watch my last the POTA challenge video on it. It's not a very fun radio to use in a lot of cases, to be honest. It is capable, and at the cost, hard to beat, but it's not enjoyable, and I feel sometimes like it's kind of doing its own thing, and I'm just along for the ride a little bit. So that's yeah.
Somebody said QDX in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, the QDX was a thought. Yeah, the QDX is a thought as well.
And are you going to take FM?
Oh yeah, no. And as always, I will, as always, have a UHF VHF radio and an appropriate antenna for that. QDX though limits me to just FT8, right?
Right.
And I'd like to give it. I'd like to try it all and see what we can make work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quandary.
Yeah, personally, I think you should do the open one on top band.
Top band? Yeah. Bring.
Yeah, you borrow Don's vertical antenna.
That's it.
You know, the ham stick.
Yep.
And jam that in the floor, and then get arrested for breaking the floor.
Yeah. Exactly. Definitely top band. That's definitely what I'm going to be activating on.
Yeah, not only that, it's over 6 foot tall. Even on the spike, it's over 6 foot tall.
Yeah, packing that up would be a bit much, actually.
Could you imagine just the noise floor trying to do top band in New
Oh,
York
God.
City? It would be not approachable.
I need to try that antenna out here.
Oh, that would be
dang
hilarious.
it, 2,200 meters. Come on, so CW high at 2,200.
I'm stuck. I have to pack in a suitcase, so obviously I'm gonna have my little carry-on, and one of those can go in the carry-on. But it's like I feel like I could be in a bad situation if I don't bring the KH1, but at the same time, it's like if I bring it and I never even touch it, it's like I wasted. Why did I bring it?
I'm really surprised you're not taking the 705.
So
the 705 actually is big.
Yeah. The 705. The problem I have with the 705. So here's my problem I have with the 705. If I need a portable vertical to try and do this on just a portable vertical, there's not a lot of good options for the 705. You would have to go with like a 17-foot vertical with radial systems, because it doesn't have the tuner in this case. That's why the AX1 is so portable, is because the tuner's sorting out a lot of the loose ends there with the resonance match. The 705 doesn't have that option. Don't worry, I thought about the 705. Go ahead.
Do you still have the X6100? It's got a tuner.
I never had. I only borrowed it for a little bit of time, the X6100. But I don't know that I would. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would take that one.
So, comment in the YouTube chat. Yeah.
So the system, the whole setup I took with that was the Chameleon loaded vertical. That required a tripod, the loading coil, and then the whip, and I had 4 radials that were strung out all around it. That's not possible at the Federal Hall. That's not possible at the African Memorial area. That's just not doable. Having that many radials and having a tripod set, like a big tripod, and then have this vertical that was like loaded that I had to go and adjust. That just doesn't seem like the way to do this. I'm going slightly clandestine with this, I think.
I mean, you could also go a bit Australian, Josh, and have one of those tubes with a mag loop about 3 inches above your head.
Yeah,
like Mr. Australian does.
Proper Australian man pack.
Yeah, see if you can find some Team Green radio and use the big whip on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you do, Josh? You take a book out, take a page out of Simon's book, take a tape measure, a thing of PVC pipe, and a fishing pole and some wire, and just throw up the tape measure as a tape measure antenna.
Yeah. Let me go back here for a second. Hold on.
You have the real antenna also.
You've seen how well his stuff works. You've experienced it.
I think everybody doesn't appreciate how much ground space is available. That's the thing. It's not not putting something in the air that's the issue, right? There's no problem with that. It's the radials, the other side of the antenna. That's the problem we're going to be dealing with.
How much ground area do you actually need?
Well, for four plus radials, you need a lot, and I don't think any of these areas afford that much space.
33 feet in thereabouts per radial.
Okay, so then it's just a matter of finding a visual reference to try to find that spot on Google Maps that gives you that area.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist at those other two spots.
Well,
Yeah,
the first one where they had those two plimps, you could either side of the building that gets you 10 feet off the floor. You could dangle a wire off of that, and nobody's likely to walk on that one. But then you're really close to a very hard rock surface that's can be a bit porous to RF. So
where the heck did this bring me? That's definitely not where I wanted to be.
So the 705 and the Betty Hex is out of the question then.
Yeah. Well, the 705 is definitely on my list. I thought about it, but I just don't think it's workable. I think I need.
Well, the 705.
What's that?
The 705, I was commenting in the chat. I wore a 705 around my neck at DEF CON, like a Flava Flav clock, and it got pretty heavy.
Yeah. Oh, geez. It dumped me way out into the city here. All right, look at this sidewalk that I can look forward to. So this is walking. Where did it just take me? I'm already lost.
Hey, Josh, I got an update for you.
Go ahead.
So it was like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. I had thrown out a question if anyone knew what was going to come in Gigapart's mystery box for a radio for $900, and you said to come back and let you know. Well, I got it. It ended up being a 7100, brand new in the box.
Oh, there was rumors of that.
Nice.
There was a rumor that it was a 7100, so that's awesome. That's a good radio. That's a fun radio.
Oh yeah, $900 for that thing. I'm more than happy. I'm putting it in a Pelican 1510 along with a 30 amp hour Bioenno. So it's going to basically be a solar, generator for when I'm out, and a Go box all in one.
I like it. I have a Go box with a 7100, so that's perfect. Okay, so I think I got something here, guys. I think I've got something to work. Okay, these poles. Okay, I could put a mast up on that, and I could use my little zip ties on them, my little twist ties. I could go out to the corner of that grass, and I could set up a mast, and I could just hold the radio. That might work.
I reckon you should load up the railings. They look like they're isolated.
I mean, that's an option too. But that could work. Carbon 6 Pactena. Yep. K6 ARK. Bungee to the. Yep. I'm thinking that. I'm thinking I might be able to do that. I could even use that little placard thing to put the kickstand out on the KX2 and then put it over the top so it holds it up. That could work.
Yeah, I got a plausible deniability story I just thought of.
What's that?
You could say, because you as a member of Aries or whatever it is, the emergency network thing, you could say you're doing a radio survey.
Yeah.
For how much, what the conditionings are like.
Yeah.
The plausible excuse, although being parked on the air is just as good.
Yeah. The railings on this side make me way more positive on this location. And oddly enough, this has the least amount of activations. This has 4.
It sounds like those people there may be very aggressive about people going where they're not supposed to.
Yeah. I might start with the AX1 here just to see like how it's going, and then I might upgrade to the vertical. Maybe that's the way to do it. This is gonna be wild. This is gonna be wild. fun little challenge that I'm gonna be throwing myself into, but yeah, why not?
Well, I will say this: people are defending you in the chat because someone has popped in saying that you will be left behind at the hour mark.
Oh yeah, at the hour mark at each POTA, not an hour total. Yeah, 3 hours. No, I know. I have 3 hours to get 3 parks activated. Okay.
Question when you got a second.
Go on, mate. That's my only got a stupid comment. Carry on.
Well, I don't want to derail the conversation. We're having a good time.
I was just saying, Josh, is she only giving you 3 hours because that's how long your wallet's going to last when she's shopping?
No, this is even before they go to shopping. I think this is actually they're hiking up to Chinatown at some point. I don't know
That's
how
what I mean. Is this like the 3 hours because you will have run out of money as she's in New York with all them spendy shops,
Well, there was a moment. It may be on the list. I don't know if we're still going to do it, but where there was a stop to B&H camera, which that would be really expensive if you get me in a real like physical B&H. Oh my goodness.
I can't properly say what would happen if you got into a proper B&H photo, but yeah, don't go in there.
We're blowing Leica money today, guys. Hang on to your butts.
I was more thinking that she might be buying some very expensive shoes or something, ladies' apparel type thing.
This is.
I was thinking of Josh's wallet, it's like...
No, Mike, apparently they're definitely going to B&H, and if he doesn't activate, he can't go.
Oh, there it is. Ooh. Yeah, so I have to get at least one park under the belt here.
Oh, challenge accepted then.
That's funny. Leia has a very intimidating picture on her chats too. I just noticed on her avatar. Okay, go ahead with the question. We can take a pause out of this one.
All right, I'm having a bit of a dilemma with my new shack setup, and I figured I'd run it by. It's a random wire end fed with the counterpoise. I got 6 to 160 meters, but only on 40 meters, I'm having really weird RFI, and I want to know what's the best core choke that I should put on the coax to try to get rid of this.
What's the mix type you need for that? 37? 30 something?
31?
31? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because like all the other bit, I can go from 6 meters to 160, and it's all between like 1.3 to 1.6 or 1.8. But on 40, everything in the chat goes nuts.
Okay. Yeah, mix 31 for 40. Yep.
We were actually just discussing this in the ham help part of the Discord earlier. Mix 31, I dropped a link there. I'll go find it and drop it here in the chat. The DX Engineering, the Mix 31s, get at least 3, if you can, 2 to 4 wraps at minimum through each choke. And I have them all over my shack. I'm looking at 3 across my desk right now on various cables, and I have at least 2 wraps. Sorry about that. 2 wraps on one of them and 6 wraps on another.
Is it better to do the pre-made ones, or because I don't, do they have a bigger one that you could actually fit the end of the coax connector through to wrap it?
These are clamp-ons.
Yeah, so the clip-ons are usually called ferrites, and then a toroid core is like a donut, And the mix material, you can get that in any type of configuration you want. If you go to PalomarEngineers.com and you use HRCC73, you can get 10% off of any of your purchases. I'm not affiliated with them. They just give us a coupon, the viewers of HRCC. They do pretty much anything you want. Pre-built, where it's like two ends of a coax and you just tighten it up and get it seated. Tons of options. They have tons of options.
All right, now with it being an end-fed half wave, I have the correct length counterpoise, but if I put a choke on the feed point and the choke in the antenna, will that affect its matching?
It shouldn't. It should not. That might also depend on the quality of your coax.
I mean, it's not great coax, but...
Okay. So I guess here's the thing. Just get the toroids to solve your RF problem, or the ferrites, the clip-ons, and then get that sorted out. And if it causes another problem, then that's something else you have to consider. But take it a step at a time, probably.
All right. Do the donuts, are the donuts more effective than the clip-ons? Because I know the clip-ons you probably have to have a couple.
So with the clip-ons, it's going to be dependent on the inner diameter, about how many times you can pass a wire through. The donuts usually allow you to put plenty of wraps on it. So that I usually go when it's in the shack, I almost always go with the donuts, the toroid cores, because they allow you to wrap way more many wraps around it.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop you a link in our private chat if you want to put your Amazon affiliate on it. This is what I use with my coax.
It's going to depend on what it is. I'm highly skeptical of Amazon anything for toroids.
It is a Smoke and Ape approved toroid.
Let me see. Okay. That's not bad. Yeah, I'll grab the link on that one. Yeah, if it's a Mix 31, which it looks like it is, these guys, is it just one for $13? That's these are bigs. These are big boys.
Yeah, they're big boys. I have two of them, one on either end of my coax for HF, and I have 6 wraps of, I've forgotten which ABR coax I have, but it's a thick boy coax, and I have 6 wraps through it easily.
There you go. All right.
Would that also fix my my touchpad mouse problem?
Don't know. Is it only freak out when you're transmitting?
Yes.
It might. I mean, if you're getting straight RFI into the shack, then yeah. And if you can stop it with a choke, then yes, it will.
And Shadow, I did drop the DX engineering link as well a little bit ago in live stream chat and tagged you in it. That's what I use on all of my audio cables, all my video cable, all the other miscellaneous cables in the shack, and 2 or 3 wraps, 4 wraps through those, and you're good to go.
Yeah, because I need something, because my shack is a Faraday cage. It's a big metal box.
So one of the tricks to help it from even getting into your shack is choke it before it enters in. So usually people will have some kind of a connector or something like that before it enters your building, your shack, and then they'll have a grounding system right outside, which you'll tether to the home ground, and then they can also add ferrites right outside, or toroids, and that will do even better for you because you're preventing it from even getting into your shack. Keeping it outside is the best way to go.
Well, speaking of that, if I put what do they call them? The bulkhead connector fitting, so I can actually screw the bulkhead connector to the steel. Would it be better to have the bulkhead connector isolated and put to ground, or mount it directly to the steel and then try to ground the steel?
I would probably I would probably go with grounding off the steel and having it just have a good electrical connection at for the bulkhead connector. It becomes a cumbersome mess if you're trying to like ground off of the bulkhead. It's usually easier just putting a bolt and a nut and a bolt through a piece of flat metal than anything else, right?
Yeah, all right. I just didn't know if maybe isolating and grounding it might be better. But then I would probably end up getting weird RFI from the steel itself.
And then here's a good question for you. Where is the antenna located in reference to your shack?
It is to the 11 o'clock, about 20 feet up, going horizontal.
Okay, because while you can reduce the common mode, when you're transmitting, all that energy is coming off your antenna too, and that comes into the house from the antenna. So it might be, while you're keyed up, you have 0 common mode, but you're getting that energy reflected back off the antenna back into the house.
That's true. That's possible.
Well, it's not a house. It's an enclosed trailer.
Oh, okay.
Regardless, the proximity of the antenna is what he's talking about. Yeah, that makes sense.
How well tuned is the antenna on 40 meters?
That's hard to tell because based off of what the amps say, it's fluctuating all over the place. But it doesn't do it on any other band.
You said amp. How much power are you putting out?
100.
Oh, okay.
You don't have a way to measure the antenna's resonance and see if it's tuned well or not?
Well, I tuned it when I had it hooked to the house. But when I moved it, like the house, every now and then I would have an issue on 40, depending on what the weather outside was like. Mm-hmm. But when I moved it to the trailer, like all the other bands are perfect, but 40, just everything goes nuts.
Yeah, you should check the tuning.
Yeah, I would check your SWR and make sure it's well tuned on 40 because you may just be getting a bunch of reflected power coming back.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the other things too is like I have such I go from 6 to 160. Like where would I start? Just go to 160 and tune it there, and everything else should fall in line.
No, he's saying take out an analyzer and actually check to see what the if the antenna is resonant, like if you can use it there.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's a 9-to-1 unon.
That's not resonant. A 9-to-1 unon is not a resonant.
Yeah, that's a non-resonant antenna.
Well, okay. We should have asked these questions.
I thought you said MFET halfway earlier.
Yeah, we didn't ask. We should have. Yeah, that's a non-resonant antenna. That's a random wire antenna.
Yeah, but between the coax and the counterpoise, doesn't it become resonant?
No. It's specifically designed to not be resonant. The wire that you select, the length of that wire, is usually one that places it in a non-resonant band space for frequencies that we don't have access to. And then using the 9-to-1 unon, it brings down the impedance, in which then your tuner sorts out the rest of it. What kind of tuner are you using?
I'm using the one in the amplifier. It's the Zygu 125.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Boy, that tuner.
I have a comment here.
I have no love for that tuner in that amplifier. I'm not a big fan of it. Usually I have to give that amp like a resonant antenna for it to be effective.
Well, that makes a little more sense why you're having RFI issues.
Yeah.
Non-resonant antennas tend to have more trouble with that, and I think the aforementioned chokes, putting some toroids at either end of the coax should help a bit with that.
Yeah, comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I run a random wire at home at 100 watts, and mine's 84 foot long, 17 foot on the ground with about 20 foot coax feeding it. I had to put a really good 1-to-1 choke right at where it it hooked up to kind of the radio and the tuner there. I built my own, tested it, about 30 dB of common mode cut back there. So that's absolutely required there. Yeah. And the other thing too is, the Xiegu 125, it would tune up a handful of bands on mine, but it wouldn't tune up all of them.
Yeah.
And so, you just need I just run a little bit better tuner at home. So, that cleared it up. I also had to find some like power strips and stuff around my house that had longer wires and put toroids on them because they were also stripping DFCIs. And I had to find those and get those off, and it was mostly on 40 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be 40 meters is the most reactive band for some reason.
So,
but if you're not running a choke now, then that's you need to put one on there.
Yeah,
it's almost required for a random.
For a 9-to-1, a random, you should have a choke. Yeah. You really should. So there you go.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right. I'm gonna take a break here, but before I go, I want to kick off the say hi to our YouTube friends. So, going down the list here, Bill, Ham Radio Tectonics. Bill, I'm gonna let you take the mic here and say hi to everybody. Are you there, Bill? First, before I hop off.
I'm here, Josh. Just made a contact with you on FT8, and that was the wrong grid square.
Uh-oh. I'll throw out the QSO. QSO's been deleted.
Echo Mike 95, Papa.
Thank you.
Echo Mike 95. Anyway.
Go ahead, take it. I'm going to run to the restroom really quick. You run with it, all right, bud?
And somebody else will take it after me, I hope. Just how you doing, guys? Hello, Josh and friends. Working around here. I started a truck install, a mobile install last year, and finally got around to finishing it today using the bullet point. And I was turned on to that at the Moore Expo. Jason and his brother were going to get them, and I saw them. And they had one for the F-150 dash mount that works out really well. It's a nice, clean install, so take a look at those bullet points. And just working on stuff around here, solar, cleaning up things, patching up things, getting them finished. And that's about it. A couple of more videos in the works. Hopefully one comes out tomorrow. And just moving on down the line. So who's next?
Oh, that'll be me looking at the list here. Thanks, Bill. Frank here, KG6NLW, your Ham Radio Wilderness with Frank. Let's see here. Last night I had a fun live stream that I did. I had Lou, Hyken, and Hammond, Vince, VE6LK, and Andy, AA0AM, and his son, General Tyler, on. And, I'm not going to say we picked on Tyler a little bit, but we picked on Tyler, get the ham radio blood flowing and figure things out and answer any questions he might have had. And we had lots of fun. I dropped a video this afternoon that is all about QRZ confirmations. What's the hype behind them? So that's something fun to check out as well. And I go live every Thursday at 10 Central. Yes, I know for you Central and Eastern guys, that is very late. I have no control over it because it is when I stream the Northern California ham swap from Sacramento area, California, and that's every week at the same time. So it's always same time, same place. And you'll find that and a lot more on my channel. I'm working my way to try to get to 500 subs by the end of June. And since I see Josh is back, Josh, do I have your approval to talk about what I mentioned? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I am looking for, right now, about 4 to 6 YLs who are hams who want to come on a live stream and talk about how they got into ham radio, what was the motivation behind it, what they think of it, how they deal with it, the stigmatism behind YLs being in ham radio, because we all know there is a stigma behind it still. I'm planning to do that on that live stream on Friday, June 14th. You can message me. I'm in Josh's Discord, among many others. Or you can email me. My email is good on QRZ. And that's Kilo Golf 6, November Lima Whiskey. Yeah, I'm hoping. I haven't reached out, but I'm hoping I'm going to bring on 2 social media YLs as well to get their input as well. And thank you, Don, for dropping my link.
Right on. All right, going down the list. Next is
Josh.
What? Me? I've been live this whole time.
Yeah, you're next in the list.
No,
I mean, technically, yeah, you're. No, but it's Adam.
It's Adam next. How's it going, man?
It's going well. Congrats on the.
Oh, we lost your mic.
POTA challenge. Uh-oh.
Wait.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, almost no audio.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just there's no.
Well, that's strange.
Oh,
Any
there
better?
you're back. Yeah, I don't know
better.
what you just did.
Weird. Yeah, it's a USB mic on the computer. I wonder what happened there. I did touch the little gain or attenuation knob on it, so maybe that had has a little corroded spot or something in the
It sounded like
range.
perfect
Anyway,
Adam quality with no amplification. That's what it sounded like.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I said congrats on the 1 pound POTA challenge. What did you think?
True SDX is not a fun radio to operate.
No,
POTA.
it's not.
It really.
Yeah.
Close the door, please. Thank you. It's. I don't know what to. Again, it's like you have to color the entire experience under $100, right? It's $100 radio, right? Every time I pick it up, I'm like, it's $100 radio. I can do whatever. It's like it's Baofeng to me, right? When I think about it.
Yep.
And the fact that it's actually pretty good at digital, believe it or not. That's actually one of its stronger points. It's not fun to operate CW. I think that's actually its worst. It's the worst at CW. The side tone is crazy. Single sideband though, if you use earbuds, if you use headphones and a good mic, it's not bad until it's bad and somebody tells you, oh, your audio quality sucks. Then you got to bring it home and realign it and do all that stuff. I don't know. What's been your experience?
Yeah, same. Exactly the same. It's it gets the job done, but it's like the way I describe it. It's like going on a road trip in a 1987 Toyota Camry with 450,000 miles on it. It'll get there. It's just gonna suck.
It won't break down on you, or I mean it might, but generally it's pretty solid. But there's not a lot of. I don't know. I also feel like the receiver might be deaf in some areas. I'm not convinced.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of internally generated noise in it, so you're competing with that, and it's not very sensitive. The filtering is like barn door wide. When you're on CW at like the 060 range, you hear FT8 bleeding through, and it's just it's painful.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But it works.
It works.
So it makes me wonder if I think they are a little bit picky with mics, and they are very picky about the settings that you choose. I forget what the settings are, but there are a couple different settings that affect the audio quality. And when I have messed with mine, I've even found that like different ones seem to have different characteristics, even with the same microphone connected to it. So it's kind of interesting. But at any rate, I've transmitted just into a dummy load and then listened on another rig at my house just to kind of try to get a feel for audio settings and optimize those settings so I could get the most out of it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, beyond that, today one of the local 2-meter nets here on one of the local repeater systems, Cora, Cactus Open Repeater Association. On Monday night, we have a net called the San Diego Ham Forum. And it's Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And there is an Echolink node connected to that you can look up. I think it's AF6BY. And San Diego Ham Forum Facebook page. Anyway, it's a pretty active local group here that we do presentations periodically on the nets. I've done presentations on a number of things. And today we did our second antenna clinic at one of the local fire stations in the town of Poway. And we built, I think, 15 roll-up J-poles and a linked dipole for folks that showed up to the clinic today and had a really good time with the local ham radio community, just building antennas and learning a bit. So that was my day.
What
and then
what did you build? Like,
yeah,
what did you help? What'd you help people out with? What'd you see when you were doing that?
So mostly roll-up J-poles. For the most part, there were quite a few technicians there, and also just people that hadn't done much antenna building.
Mm-hmm.
So we built, I think, a total of 15, twin lead and wire and coax roll-up J-pole antennas. Kind of, I guess, Ed Fong J-pole style stuff. And then one linked dipole for 10, 15, and 20 meters as well.
And Adam, I'll help you out here. Yes, it is AF6BY. It also has an all-star link of 54697.
Oh, that's correct. Yep.
There you go.
See, I don't know when the next presentation will be. We do them, I don't know, once every month or a couple months or so. And but we usually get about 50 or so check-ins for the net, and it's a good crew. But beyond that, tomorrow I'm helping out with a graffiti cleanup at one of the local climbing areas, and also been working on a new antenna, a lighter, smaller, very packable 10-meter antenna. I was originally going to build a Moxon, and then I realized with the spreaders that I got, I could instead build a 3-element Yagi, which will have about 5.8 dBd of forward gain. And what's really cool about this thing is the materials I've got for it pack down really small, and the whole thing, including the mast, a 3-meter mast or 10-foot mast, will weigh less than 3 pounds for this antenna. So should be really fun for SOTA stuff. I plan to bring it up Mount San Gorgonio in August when I head up there in a month and a half, 2 months.
That's awesome. Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Adam. Appreciate you coming out and answering some questions for people and helping out, as always. All right, so next is Lou, Hiking and Hammond. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going tonight? Been around here, excuse me. Been trying to catch up on projects around here, and of course, there's still pollen in the air, as you can tell by my voice. But other than that, I'm still editing video from Dayton, and
oh yeah,
kind of dribbling that out.
Oh, am I gone or is he gone?
Yeah, Lou dropped.
He was.
Okay, how about now?
No, you're back.
5'9".
All righty. Yeah, and what was I saying? Oh, yeah, allergies here, so my voice is a little choked up. But editing video from Dayton, and just dropped a video that I actually recorded prior to Dayton on the Gazelle T3 Hub Tent Overland Edition, which is what I stayed in while I was up there. And
oh, we lost him again.
I must be timing the repeater out. I don't know.
Yeah. You're hitting the timeout button.
Yeah. So
stop chunking the repeater, Lou. Come on.
Yeah. But for those of you who may or may not be subscribed to the Gigaparts newsletter, you may have noticed that that next weekend is their POTA weekend, and that's their focus on the 8th. And you may have noticed my name in there, because I'll be doing a SOTA POTA presentation, and I'll record that and get that posted in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
That's about it from this end.
Well, if anybody's curious, well, thank you, Hiking and Hammond. Appreciate that. If anybody is interested, I have a very good path to Australia and New Zealand right now, and I pointed the beam over there, and I'm already getting a ZL coming in, so you might wanna point your direction over that away if you can. Anyway, yeah, there you go.
Hey, Josh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, go ahead.
Can they send out the link for the Giga News? I'd like to look at that, please.
Oh, Luke, can you drop the link for it, or someone drop the link, and you guys can go avail yourselves of that?
Was it just a newsletter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's just their newsletter they send out. I'll see what I can do, or I'm sure Frank's probably all over it too.
Dropping it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, no problem.
You actually have to sign up for the newsletter, so I put in the sign up link.
And next is let's take a little. Wait, is Jason still here? Game 4 ECK?
No.
Can I make a comment, Josh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Knowing that the date is fairly coming up for D-Day, they're having a large celebration next weekend, obviously from the 6th of June onwards. So watch out for them special event stations from all over the world celebrating D-Day from the deepest Europe. There's quite a few special event stations out there. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of half. So I know Leia's not. Hopefully, Leia's already turned off now. But in the evenings, I would like to set up this radio and actually try and get some DX from the East Coast. I think that's actually something you can do from the New York area, outskirts of the town, or the large city area. And I'm looking forward to East Coast DX. That's something I'm very excited about that. So let's just say I keep me in your ham alert, because I'm gonna be active at night. I'm gonna try to a couple of the nights at least, as so far as I'm able to get out. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And yeah, D-Day.
You might even be able to get Callum.
That would be a killer contact if I could do that. That would be awesome. But with a KX2, I don't know. Cross the Atlantic, whew, that's a dream, though. No. That's a dream right there.
Just take your radials and dip them in the Atlantic Ocean. You'll get over there, no problem.
Wait till we get to Amish country, where the noise floor gets lower. That's, I think, one of our stops is Amish country. Leia told me. So hey, if I get up in that area, maybe maybe we can do it. All right, next.
All these dudes with pitchforks chasing you, all that magic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Luddites will come after me and break up the textile factories. Yep. All right, next is...
Real quick, Josh,
yeah,
I just want to say this. If nobody activates... I'm hoping somebody will activate Currahee as a soda on June 6th. If they don't, I'm going to try to do it next year.
Oh, interesting. Really? Wow, that's cool.
So the special event stations for D-Day, is there a list, a site, something with more information about this?
I know the RSGB have listed a few of them on their site. That's rsgb.org. But as there's also a few floating around.
QST always has a list of all of the special events for a month in the QST, but if you don't have that, I can't help you. But that's how I've always chased special events, is looking at QST, and they go day by day.
Hey, so oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is there anything that explains, for instance, the significance behind the special event calls and what and why and all that? Because even just outside of radio, learning something for people who don't know is also useful, right?
Generally, if what I do for special events is once get the call sign and go look at the QRZ, and they usually are very good about writing up in QRZ everything about the special event.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hiking and Hammond, how are you getting out there?
To Currahee?
Yeah.
Driving over to Georgia.
Okay. What kind of how many points is that summit? Do you know?
I think that's a 4-pointer. It's not a very high one, but if you've watched Band of Brothers, that's the mountain they run up and down in the first episode.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's super cool. So you're gonna do a video of you doing the trucking up the side of the mountain?
Yeah, I'm not going to make it 3 miles up, 3 miles down in 50 minutes though. But definitely go up there and try to activate that summit next year for June 6th.
Oh, nice, very cool. All right, let's see. Next is Mark from Boondock Echo. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm doing well. I hope everybody else is doing well. What have you been up to?
Man, we are just trying to get over the finish line. And thank you, Frank, for posting that. I'll also post the website here. We are having some manufacturing issues that we're working through, and I'm going to share some pictures so you guys can join in the fun.
Okay, we love insider information. Go for it.
All right. So the first time they shipped these Kenwood K1 cables to us, they jiggered up the wiring. It was all miswired. So we sent it back, and well, we didn't send them back. I just cut the cables in half and harvested the ferrites, and showed them a picture of that. And they're like, "We're going to remanufacture these for you on a rush." And I was like, "Oh, that's great, guys. That's great." So they came in, and let me show you those.
Okay.
So the picture on the right is the sample cables. So when we manufactured, we didn't just say, go ahead and make all these. We said, send us some samples first. And in this particular case, we got 2 sample cables. The one on the right is one of those sample cables, and it's perfect. It's wired correctly, nice thick wire gauge. Everything's fine. So the second time they screwed up the production run is the cable on the left.
Yeah, that's way different.
Yeah, for TRRS cables, the shield should be about 2.5 millimeters, and they put on a 5 millimeter shield, which you would see on a TRS cable. So they are currently remanufacturing the cables.
Oh no,
it's okay. We're working through it.
Yeah.
We've got I've got exciting news. You guys are going to love this. Let me get you another.
Oh, we lost him.
Nope,
no, he's grabbing another one.
Okay.
I'm on push to talk, so every time I do the copy, control, paste thing, I lose you. Sorry about that.
Would you like to not be on push to talk?
That would be fabulous. Can you make that happen?
Yeah, I can. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. Keep using push to talk until I tell you.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to grab one more picture. We redesigned the sticker on the case, and it looks amazing. So you guys are going to like this. I had it in my queue. And now I'm looking for it.
You should be good. Let's see. You may have to turn off push to talk in your settings.
Am I still push to talk?
No, you have been elevated. So if you go into your settings and turn off the PTT, then you should just be able to talk.
All right, give me just 1 second, and I'll do that. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Already the power is going to my head. So, anyways, this obviously slowed everything down a little bit, which was a bummer, but it happens. But what we did was we hired a graphic designer, and he completely redesigned the topside sticker case, and I'm really excited to share that with you as soon as I find the absolute latest version of this thing. The designer is named Scott Fisher, and am I ever glad that we got him? And I think you guys are going to like him too. And I'm sorry this is taking so long. I filled up my my queue. Copy. Here it is. I've got it. While I'm pulling this up, Josh.
Yeah.
When are you going to New York?
In the future.
In the future. Okay. All right. So this is going to be a partial wrap. So you're looking at the top and 2 of the sides.
I love that. Yeah. That's cool.
I know. Isn't that so much better than the one we made?
I like that a lot more. Yeah, that's awesome. Nicely done.
In other news, we've got our first corporate client signed the contract, which is wonderful. They're going to start giving us money. We've got all the hardware. It should be shipped within a week, so we should have those ready to go. The cases, we're having a little trouble with the manufacturer. We did learn a lesson, which was never design your own case. But the issue that we're having is completely fixable. They want to Pantone color match. We're like, how about just give us a white case? Well, which color white? And I'm like, oh my God, people. So we got a question in there. Is orange the only color? For now, this is still a tentative design, but it's one of the brand colors, so we were kind of sticking with that. But if you have ideas, man, we're happy to hear them.
Orange is the best color.
Yeah. We've also got the box. We hired a separate designer for the box design, the shipping box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see his samples. And then the other big news is the cost to run the transcription services, even on like an AWS server, is just exorbitant. It's ridiculous. So what we've done instead is we've bought servers, and Casey travels for his job to different server farms, right? Different places around the country. So he just stays a few hours longer and installs our hardware, right? We bought the box. So everything should be theoretically so much cheaper.
You're squatting on free server space is what you're saying?
Maybe a little bit. But
okay.
You're literally taking a server and installing in somebody else's data center. Is that what you're saying?
No, I very specifically said it was KC that did that, not me.
Oh yeah, okay. Man.
Wow.
Come on, Don.
Wow.
But I can see creating a virtual machine on somebody else's server so that you can but boy, putting your own server in a data center, wow.
So,
bold.
No, I know, but the good news is we think, and it's going to be a little bumpy when we first roll it out and we get, a couple hundred people on all at once, but we think that this will allow us to lower the subscription costs for the amateur community.
Oh, excellent.
Right?
That's amazing.
So, or offer more features at lower, at whatever the price. Anyways, we've got to test it to see if it works. But the idea is that it could be cheaper for everybody. And,
excellent.
We'll profit. You guys won't have to pay so much. We don't know. But yeah, so that's all the updates.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mark, for those are big updates. So how what do you think ship time is going to be? What's your potential ETA?
Well, that's a great question.
I got to ask that question. So yeah,
I know you have to. With the setbacks, I mean, I wanted this stuff out already. I wanted this stuff in your hands because the sooner it's in your hands, the sooner we can start getting the SaaS income. So we've had some delays. Certainly not this month. Maybe next.
Okay.
Is the best that I've got for you.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Cool.
Thank you for the updates. Appreciate that.
No, thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next is Mike N2MAK, which was the third person in the trio that won the 705. So Mike, yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. No, thanks for thank you to Jason and ICOM and everyone.
Yeah.
Zach that did that again. Obviously Michael and I had a great time trying it last year and just got stuck.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that Fred and Michael had a blast and Fred got it done. He worked his butt off that day, but
he did.
Like he was saying, the car ride out, he was practicing in the car. We were all doing tests on the way back and stuff. So he'll get his general ticket soon. But we went out last weekend. I recorded the video of his first POTA with the 705. As you can imagine, being a tech, he definitely had some challenges, but he got it done. So we're going to drop that on Tuesday night for the Tuesday Night Ham Radio playlist that Lou and Frank and some of the others are on. So that's coming out, and I'm looking forward to next weekend, the June VHF contest. So I'll just plug that for anyone else. I mean, if you're looking to get on or make some contacts on 6 meters, I mean, the June VHF contest is definitely the time. So I enjoy trying different bands, different modes, and it's a great opportunity to just spin the dial and have some fun, try something different.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do something fun for that. I haven't got everything squared away on that yet, but I have the 905 in my possession right now with the 10 gigahertz dish.
Nice. Yeah, we have a big VHF group in Western New York and Southern Ontario, so it's not a challenge for me to go out and make contacts on 220 or anything else. It depends, obviously, location, whether it's just ham density or whatever. But one thing I want to plug for you, I tried jumping in earlier. So when you're down in Battery Park or anywhere in Manhattan, you're going to be pretty close to the Empire State Trail. It's Park US 8098. If you're in the northern part of that Clinton Castle, you might be within 100 feet of where the Empire Trail starts.
Oh, so it's like a twofer?
So it might be a twofer with there. You'd have to be in the northern part. I'm looking at some maps now. I haven't been down there in a while, so I don't know exactly. You're like right by the start of the trail.
Okay.
And if you're outside of it, it's only going to be by like 100 feet or so. You'll be very close, but it's worth checking out for any of the parks or any of the public spaces, because you could be at a city park in New York, a public space, and if you're within 100 feet of that trail, you'll see it goes all the way from southern Manhattan up to the North Country, comes out here to Rochester to Western New York. It's a massive trail, and it creates a lot of NFIRS, and so at minimum, you could probably have no problem just activating that trail itself. But good luck on your travels and the activations. I got you in Hamlet.
I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you for hanging out, too. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still very much undecided on which radios I want to bring. I know that the KX2 can get it, can get me most of the way there, but there's that hypothetical situation where I just have to stand about, and I'm like, KH1 would be the jam right now. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah. Okay.
Well, have fun. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm going to have fun on a vacation regardless, and I will have an HF radio with me, so I'll make contacts at the end of the night and just talk, whatever at wherever we're at in the hotels and to the best of my ability. But so that'll be fun. But yeah, it's just that's the fun of it. You don't really know. You do a little bit of research. You start getting a little anxious about it. You're thinking, am I going to make this work? It's gonna be fun. Cool.
All right. I want to mention this real quick, Josh, if I can.
Yeah.
There's been some chatter in the chat. Our buddy Greg, K6EGG, says apparently he will get an FT891 tonight live on stream if he makes 50 likes. And apparently he's only about 20-something away from it, and he has a 9 p.m. Pacific time deadline, so 20 minutes.
What, is he live right now? What are you talking about? Likes on what?
Yeah, he's live.
He is.
Who is this? Drop the link for it. Let me see the...
Yeah, hold on.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Josh...
Let me spend your money! Live!
If you don't mind, I'd like to... Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's the Greg. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's pull Greg up.
Go ahead, Don.
I thought I was subscribed to him. Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I was just wanting. I have produced another video, and I just was wanting to pimp it real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, I'll drop the link in there. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm standing out on my new back porch, filming around and discussing what I've got out here, and that's in kind of what my plans are for that area. I hope to do a couple more videos where I actually walk around and show, the property in detail, and then I'm really hoping I can film some of these antennas I want to put up out here.
Oh man!
To kind of give you an idea of exactly why. Oh, Frank dropped it for me. Thanks, Frank.
No problem.
So, because like the thumbnail there is like you looking out towards the back part of my property down towards the 4 acres. in the pond and so forth. But it was pouring down rain one day, and so I just stood out there and filmed for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
He's on 45.
Mm-hmm. And actually, if you're ever interested, and we want to go over and look at, how I might place some antennas, in the very beginning, there's a aerial view of the property with the property lines around it, so you can kind of get an idea of.
Right on.
And also, I know from the survey exactly how long the two sides are and how wide it is in feet. It's about 763 feet long, and I think it's feet anyway, and 263 feet wide.
Oh wow!
So yeah.
You should do something fun with that.
Just a quick update. Greg,
oh yeah, I'm going to put up a.
Greg has passed the 50. Hold on, let's.
If you mail them to a use address,
he has passed the 50 likes.
Once or just discard it.
We
it's
blew
really
that up.
If you do something naughty for the FCC.
So now he's going to buy it live, and we see his credit card number.
So
yeah, I don't think you get to see the number. But yeah.
You gotta do.
Sorry, Don. I just had
There's nothing.
No. That's fine. It's
not a.
I'll pull your video up too, Don. Hold on.
I want to see Colin get a license.
We'll check it out
in
a second.
Oh, what? So, I may or may not be live on HRCC. What?
So, yeah. So
the deal
I'm dual
was,
streaming.
I gotta make sure I don't have anything in here. All right, so
literally
my phone number here. The deal was.
Oh, give me the loftiest of goals to buy a radio. Just give me a second. I'll tell people to go give me a thumbs up.
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe too.
Yes, like and subscribe.
I only had 10 likes at the time, and someone showed me that we were talking about mobiles, and I wanted a FT891 for the mobile to do some POTA, and and I'm like, I don't really feel like paying $700 for a radio. And well, MTC, I'm not sponsored by them in any way.
Gotta be clear.
They have a deal for 15% off over $100, and I don't think they charge shipping or tax to get it sent. So I appreciate it, Ted.
See, Greg,
so the challenge,
Greg, they're not kidding. You are live on HRCC.
I just looked at it.
We're not kidding.
Oh, Josh.
Hello.
Duchino, Josh.
Hello, buddy.
So that was the challenge tonight.
He's upset.
And I'm trying to make some contacts too. So let me finish this up, and I'll show you guys.
Make some contacts with Greg on 14.227.
Of this.
Tell him I hope he enjoys his new Yaesu 891.
I'm actually buying it. So the challenge was met. Maybe I'll do another one for the ATOS because I got to do an ATOS.
Frank, what have you done, Frank? Let me reset this so I could comment. Why am I still on
the part? Only one.
I don't think I'm gonna buy the ATOS tonight, but if you guys, I don't know.
Like I said, buy the Coffee and Ham Radios one.
No,
I wasn't the only
one. I don't know, but the
one.
ATOS works with this.
All right, I'm gonna mute
Yes, Jody, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, the ATOS is fantastic for the 891. If you're gonna run mobile and you're gonna stay in that environment, it's great. I've ran it on now 2 vehicles. It's on the F-150 now. And I've heard people, it's like, oh, never tune it when you're driving. Never do this, do that. It's going to kill the antenna. And that's all I do is I change man, tune, go. And I haven't had any problems with it. I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. So, yeah, it's a good, it's the gateway drug of screwdriver antennas. It's effective. It works very well. But it's like the beginner's point of screwdrivers. So, oh my gosh, Seth asked a fantastic question. Does Leia have her NYC food option set? Oh boy, howdy does she. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm gonna drop a chat real fast.
I'm gonna take a picture, screenshot. Oh boy.
Apparently he's trying to work whoever.
We got Josh in here. Josh, you guys got me over the edge here, boy. This is not cool. We got to meet up in Chino Hills one of these days.
Oh,
so
yeah, Chino Hills.
With Chase here that's in the chat. And Sam.
I've had my ATOS on my FTDX10, my 891, and my 857, and it works on all of them. The FTDX10, it's a little clunky on in terms of starting the tune.
Yeah.
The 891, it's absolutely flawless on.
Yeah, I can't.
And also
no
the
fault.
57.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it works with the 857, 891. It'll go.
Mm-hmm.
What's cool about the 857? It'll actually go all the way down to 2 meters, which is kind of cool.
Right, but you have to. I mean, there's 2 different antenna ports on the 857, so I'm not sure exactly how that works, but yeah, it does work.
Use a splitter on it.
Yeah, it's just I don't. I mean, I've already got the FTM 400 in there, and I don't really need sideband on 2 meters, but man, that 857 is a great radio.
I will say this is like a super deep cut, but somebody said Amex Gold 4x points on food, Josh. So I'm now a Delta whatever Amex carrier. I'm not a credit card guy, but I'll tell you what, if you have any questions on a credit card and how to get like the most perks out of a credit card, it's Zach Loyal, who was on the live stream earlier. I swear, every time I talk to him, it's like, oh my gosh, I could be getting so much more out of spending money than I'm already like getting. It's ridiculous. Like how many like min-max things that he does that just it blows your mind when you start talking to him. So like if you're actually interested in this, like on the HRCC Discord, hit up Zach and just say like, hey, I'm thinking about like an American Express card or something like that. Like, you know, what would you recommend? I swear, you will get more information than you expect from that man. He is insane with this stuff. It's awesome. My Delta card is like, I'm statused on Delta now. I get like, I get all the check bags. I get access to the lounge. I get all this stuff. It's great because I travel like probably 7 times a year, and that's about the sweet spot where you're like right in the slot for getting the most out of your money. It's great. It's been really good. And Amex just in general, you get a lot of perks for just having that card. Obviously I'm not sponsored by any of this. I'm just saying that was a really weird comment that Interstellar dropped, and I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. So
2 things. One, let's see Dawn's video because I know we want to see it if you want to. And apparently, Greg has upped the ante. 150 likes, and he will pull the trigger on an ATOS antenna for the Tesla.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. There you go.
240.
Go make some contacts with Greg though while you're hanging out, guys. If you're watching me.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf calling CQ from Southern California in the city of Chino, 40 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. Once again, this
40
is
miles east.
Kilo
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Echo Golf.
All right, good guy. All right, let's go check out Don's video. Let's see. How many likes do you need on this after chat before the chat can get you to buy something? I don't know. What should I buy? Should I buy something? I don't know.
PGXL to go with that Flex radio?
I just bought a Flex. I mean, what do you want from me, guys?
A PGXL.
All right, so Don, should I scrub this? Because I mean, it's an 11-minute video. Do you want me to jump into this a little bit, or what should I do?
Actually, like the very first.
Yeah, look at that.
Just look at the slides of the very first 3 things.
Look at this.
After that, I get a little bit chatty.
Don, I'm quite jealous just looking at this overhead shot. This is cool, man. What a great spot. So where is your property
look how
in here?
Close I'm literally in the red lines.
The red square, that rectangle?
Yeah. And see how close I am to that park? That's literally a block away. A block from my house.
That's awesome. How, like, you could just get like a side-by-side and just start driving through neighbors' yards to get there if you wanted to, right?
Yeah. Well, the lady behind me has 28 acres, and I think it goes right to the park. But so there's only one one person you have to drive through. But
yeah, that's cool though. Look at all the trees you've got too. You could do anything.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put up a 160 meter sky loop.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I like it. All right, let me see if we can jump ahead a little bit here. Oh, you got wait, hold on. I had to pause this for a second. Is that that's copyright free music that you're playing too, by the way?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and by the way, I apologize for the music, but I am a tuba player.
Are you? I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Don. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool.
You learn something new about Don.
And so that's why I like that music. But no, that's all from YouTube's list.
So let me ask you a question about this power drop. I'm seeing like a power meter that's just freestanding on a pole. What's that for? Was that like a slab that used to have like a
Let me look, because I'm trying to catch up with where
that's
you're
fine.
at. Because
that's probably not the power feed for your home or the building that you're now in.
Oh, that is a power line coming into the house. And here's what's interesting about that, which is weird. So yeah, you're talking about that one that's like next to the well, or the.
It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's like right here, just chilling.
Yeah, no, my property literally has 2 electrical drops that come in.
Really?
That one there, the only thing that is connected to is there is an extension cord, no kidding, an extension cord that goes up into that tree to a light. That is the only thing connected to that pole.
The only thing that's connected is the Bitcoin miner.
Yeah, I don't know why it's there, but I turned it on. And the thing is, I mean, this is my dream.
Yeah.
Is that like people like T.O. or what are coming along may come in and hook up to my hookup there.
Yeah.
And spend a week or two.
That's awesome.
And then when there's no dump there.
You say that, but T.O.'s going to show up and then he won't leave. Because you got such a nice place. He's like, your noise was so quiet. I'm just going to stay, bud. Is that all right?
Yeah. The thing is, though, if he needs to dump, he's going to have to run around the corner to the park to do his dumping. But, that is
that's what van life is. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what boondocking's all about. So,
yeah.
Lots of dump stops. Okay, so you want me to keep going here? Let me keep going.
Sure. There's 2 more slides, I think.
Okay.
It depends.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the Connex boxes, and those came with the property of. And then this is now into the video. That's looking back out. That big mound of dirt is. They came in and put in a brand new septic, and they left that dirt there for me to fill in. And if you go further in the video, there you can see that around where the concrete part of the septic is, there's a kind of a trench now because of all the frickin' rain. It has rained and rained and rained out here. And that pond is mine. And my property goes all the way back behind that pond. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the fence is it's just a little short
fence.
It's
a little tiny fence that was put
like
in
for
there.
A dog?
I guess the people had a dog.
Yeah.
And their course is the Starlink. I know you're loving that one.
I just love the property. Look at all these trees. There's so much you can do with this.
Megabits per second.
Yeah, there's an area over there on the other side of the pond, and I kind of talk about it later in the video. But there's a road that's going off where the Starlink is. There's a little road that goes off over into this thing here, and we call it the island because it's literally surrounded by water, and then there's a fence that runs behind there that's my neighbor's property.
Wow.
So that's like a little island there, and I'm thinking about putting the hex beam over there.
Nice.
I have not decided.
You got plenty of spaces you could put a hex beam up. Right here, just right out the back. Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna put up the Buddy Hex for in the beginning, but eventually, I'll put the Roan up with the hex beam on top of it.
Anything. You could do anything you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I moved out there.
Dude, that's awesome.
Out here.
Oh yeah. I hear you. That's awesome. I love it. I love how green it is too. What part? So what part of Texas is this? Because this is like way more green than I'm used to dealing with in Texas.
It's literally just south of Dallas.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. If you look up Eustis, Texas, I'm living in Eustis, Texas, and that is basically just south of Dallas. I can get back to where, because I'm still working, and I can get back to my office in about an hour and 10 minutes, hour 15.
Do you have to do that often, or is it more
Not
remote
now, but I can't talk about something that may happen that may cause me to have to do that a lot. Oh no!
Yeah,
if that comes through, I will be loving it.
I'm facing that world right now. I'm gonna get a lot busier at work here shortly.
Well, it's not so much busy, but I can't talk about it.
I'm gonna be insanely busy.
The water is just.
It went. Believe me, if this thing comes out, you guys will hear about it.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I'm scrubbing a little bit. This is great though, man. Are there fish in that pond?
I've been told there are, but I haven't thrown a line. There's definitely a ton of frogs around.
Oh yeah, I like that too. I don't know. I love hearing frogs and stuff when I'm going to sleep. Oh, it's awesome.
You go out in the backyard and that's all. And right now, what I'm doing, I've got a wire that's going up by the Starlink up into a tree next to it, and then I put the FTDX 10 out here, and I just sit out on that back porch back there and operate.
That's awesome. That's
it
awesome.
is.
Dude, I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited. I know you've been struggling with your noise floor for so long, so this has got to be just like the best.
Oh, God, 20 was just like dead quiet. Now, when we were on the 40-meter net, everybody was having trouble, but...
Sure, but like you're just what's your noise floor in 40 now? I gotta know. What?
See, last night when I was running it, it was S7, and when I've done it before, it was like an S3.
So that's
I think
atmospheric.
That was the condition.
Purely. That's purely atmospheric.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. But you're seeing a real improvement on your noise floor just across the board. Yeah.
Like I said, my noise floor on 40 or on 20 is 0. I mean, there's nothing.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm working guys that don't even move my needle.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hear them.
Yeah.
They can't hear me because I don't have the amp back yet. But when I get the amp back, man, the sky's the limit.
I love the story, man. I love the story. Because I mean, everybody, Don's been hanging out here for so long, and we appreciate his input. But you know, one of the big things is Don has all these really nice radios and lots of this equipment, and he was getting some of this like better gear to try and fight his noise floor. And he's just fighting the noise floor for so long, and then just be like, you know what? Let's just move to no noise floor. And now he's literally in the best place for ham radio right now. It's just awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you. Cheers.
And that's why, I mean, I really wanted to move into like, this is a forest. And this is why, because look at those damn trees.
I know.
Now,
it's awesome.
I have questions, and we'll go over them sometime, maybe over the next few weeks. But like, how the frickin' hell do you get a antenna wire up in a tree that tall? I know there are like rocket launchers and all kinds of stuff for that.
Honestly, since you own the joint, like you might even want to think of like a drone payload drop kind of thing. Or
I've never flown a drone.
Or like with the pulleys, right? Pulleys are still going to be a really good way to go, but the problem is they're so bushy and green, right? Is you almost need to like get the pulleys positioned high up, and how do you do that? Because you can't just like throw a line up there, right? Yeah. I hear where you're going. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I threw a line for this infed half wave, and I didn't even get halfway up the damn tree.
Is that the one you talked to Simon on?
No, when I talked to Simon, I was on the frickin' ATOS.
Oh wow,
man. Okay,
nicely done.
And Chuck's right. You and him should build you a 40-meter Chucky hex.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I mean, my Starlink cut just as Frank said 40 something.
Chucky
40-meter Chucky hex from Chuck. Yeah, he says you guys build one.
I mean, that or a 160-meter sky loop, and I don't see any problem with a sky loop other than getting it up high.
Yeah, let's sky
and
loop.
I went and bought the ladder line and everything. I've got everything to put a ladder line, and I've already got two hex beams. I've got the NA4RR and the Buddy hex. So I'm going to put the Buddy hex out there for temporary, just for the hell of it, just to play around. And then eventually I'll get the NA4RR deployed. And then, if Chuck wants to come up with a deal. And by the way, if you guys, any of you, Josh, any of you guys want to come out and visit me,
awesome.
Come out and visit me.
That's awesome. I don't know when I'll be in Texas next, but at the same, how far is Houston from Austin?
From Austin?
Yeah.
4 hours or so.
Okay.
And then we're 4 hours north of that, 4 to 5 hours north of that.
Okay. Yeah, because
I mean, I'm Dallas, not Austin.
Yeah. Okay, 4 hours. Yeah. I want to get back to Modern Rogue and do some stuff with them. So then I'll be in Texas, but you know how it goes. You're always just running around like a crazy person.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But dude, I'm so happy for you. I cannot tell you. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. It looks great. I love how green everything is. I love the idea of putting up a sky loop. I think you're just gonna have a blast with that. Just flank the pond with the sky loop.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean the sky loop, the way I measure it, it's got to start in the front yard and go all the way back nearly to the back, because it's 500 feet of wire, and so it's got to go. And I've only got 200 feet side to side, so I've got to make up the rest of that in length, and so the way I figure it. And someday we can pull that little thing up and, just kind of lay it out. But I think it's going to start in the front yard and go all the way towards the back, almost to the back of that. If you get beyond, like where you see back behind the pond, that green area, that you literally get into a very dense forest back there for about maybe.
Oh yeah, it looks dense. Yeah, in the background there. Yeah.
Yeah, way back there. Yeah.
So, Don, how good?
One of these days, I'm gonna. Sorry, Frank. Go ahead.
How good are you at archery?
I suck. I don't have any bows or anything. One of the things I had looked at. One of the things I had looked at is this thing that throws for like retrievers. It's a throw bag for retrievers to go out and retrieve the like a bird type of thing.
Yeah.
And this guy was talking about he uses that to throw wires in a tree, and he can get over 100 feet with it. And what it is it's you put a 22 blank in there, and it fires this bird-like thing, just a big ball.
A bag, yeah.
And big bag. And
that was Mr. Heil.
Comment?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, go ahead.
The tire bead setters. I put a couple links to them. About $60. You just unthread the end and put a piece of 2-inch pipe on the end of it, and man, you'll get a quarter mile, half mile of. I launch oranges. They go. They sail. You'll have no issues.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you probably don't need an orange. It can be good enough with a bean bag.
Hey, Don, I had that loop. I got the one from Palomar Engineering, and the way I got it up there was what Josh mentioned before. I kind of into drones too, but find somebody with a Maverick, and the payload drops are pretty inexpensive these days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so really lightweight and surveyor's line tied to the weight. Take it over the tree, pass the tree, drop it.
Well, yeah, I've heard of like some of the guys I've seen online. They use fishing line, and they throw the fishing line up, and then they take mast trant or whatever, and then haul it up, and just to the other side of the tree, and then you grab the antenna and pull it back up into the tree. Yeah, that works, but then you're pulling it back up through all those branches.
Right.
It's got to get. It really needs to be up high.
I used my 9-meter DX Commander to hold the wire back, and you're right. And it's better if you do it in the wintertime when there's less leaves.
Yeah.
Well, some of these are evergreens. That's the only problem. They're pine trees, but yeah, a lot of those trees out there, I think when it comes winter, they will lose their leaves. And here's the other thing. I'm trying right now to buy a zero-turn mower, and I have never used a zero-turn mower. But
you got a lot of grass now, bud. Yeah, you got a lot of grass.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's true. All right, comment. Go ahead.
If you need a drone pilot to do some payloads, you can usually find somebody who will do it from a local roofer. Now, local could be relative in your case, but that's probably the best place unless you actually have a proper drone group that you can contact.
The other day I stumbled across, there's a repeater out here that they run nets like 3 times a week on. And so it's a very active repeater, and there's a lot of hams out here. So I need to explore the ham community out here and see what they've got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So who knows? Yeah.
All right. Pretty much every roofing company will have drone pilots now for a lot of purposes. Actually,
I bet. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of short timing it today. I got to wrap up here, but I want to check: is there anybody left who is a first timer who wants to say hi or ask a question? Want to make sure we get through everybody before I go, because I got to head out and go hang out with the family for a little bit tonight. Anybody out there? Go ahead. Okay. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. You guys are welcome to stay and help Dawn out through all these cool challenges. These are great problems to have. I love that. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just one more quick thing. I am going to do another video on this property, and I'll actually take the damn camera and walk back to the back and let you guys like see around where because you're seeing from a distance now. I can walk around out there. Hopefully I'll get a golf cart or something, but I'm going to do more videos out here because I haven't seen anybody really build out stuff like this in video form. I mean, maybe I'm just missing it, but
as somebody who makes YouTube ham radio videos, the noise floor, if you actually are in a spot where you can have good radio, then yeah, people would love to see that. Like you got a low noise floor, show everybody the process. Oh, everybody's going to love that, Don. That's a great idea. Definitely make videos about that. That's going to be great.
Well, yeah, here's the thing, too. If there's any noise out here, it's probably me. So it's up
so
to
you
me
can
to
track
find
it down, and then you can do videos
Exactly.
on Make It. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got the whole 9 yards. Dude, I like it. I like it. Oh, that's awesome. I'm telling you, man, I'm super jealous. You have the best time with that. That's awesome.
Well, truthfully, any of you guys come out. I've got one small bedroom here, other than the one I sleep in. You're more than welcome to come and stay with me and help me figure this thing out.
Yeah, right on. Oh my gosh. Oh, excuse me. Chuck's bailing out, but another good option for you guys that are looking for an antenna, Coffee and Ham Radio's NFEDs, among many of their other antennas, are also a really good little kit you can buy. And Chuck kits them all up for you. He's kind of like the R&D guy for a lot of this stuff.
And
great
they're
guy.
very easy builds. I
They
just
are.
built the Poseidon myself a couple months ago.
Yep. All right, everybody. I got to hop out of here, so I'm going to say goodbye to the Discord. 73 to everybody. Take it easy, all right?
73, Josh.
73,
right.
Josh.
And thank you, Frank. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Everybody on the YouTubes, boy, howdy. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And as always, like this is, we're out here every week. We do this on I've been doing this on Saturdays for years now. Oh my goodness. The goal is to help you answer your questions on amateur radio. That's the whole point. I leave these videos up. You can go back and watch them. They're all good content. But yeah, no, I get it. It's like it's just this long live stream diatribe. I get it. It's only going to be valuable to you if you engage and you hop in the Discord and you start asking questions. So consider joining us out there. I'm not always live, but this Discord goes 24/7. You can get your questions answered anytime. So please do join us on the Ham Radio Crash Course Discord. We really do appreciate it. And until I talk to you later, 73. Enjoy the memes. Let them roll and play that music.